Hello, everybody! Welcome to Marquee Gaming tonight as we get ready for our 84th session of Mystical Mishaps, and our party here is on trial. This is the time that many DMs dream about when the war crimes that their parties have committed can finally be brought to justice, and we can get things all situated and make everything right in the world by getting rid of these terrorists. So we'll see how things go tonight in their court case, and I don't know. So convict number 1 tonight is Rachel. What are you playing?
Oh my gosh. Wait, we have to do a nervous level too.
Sure, you can put your nervous level in there if you'd like to.
What would your jail name be? Just kidding.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just kidding. That's pretty on the spot. We can think about it. We can think about it.
I'll have to think about mine.
Biggie. Because she's that's the first one I thought of.
Yes.
As we're screwed.
That would be like the prison name that like everyone calls her. She's like really annoyed about it. But, like...
I feel like that would be the worst name for her specifically. She'd be like, oh my god. Oh.
Hey, the hand actually, Cherry.
The hand.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah. It's pretty hardcore. Okay, hi, I'm Rachel. Also known as Pip. I will probably have an art stream tomorrow unless I'm devastated or something. I don't know. It's Mondays at 3:30 CST. And yeah, I play Eleonora. She is a level 7 warlock. And she has a billion charges. She doesn't have great arguments. When it comes to, well, she has great arguments. She doesn't have great evidence. When it comes to nervous level, I'm probably like a 9.5 out of 10. And I also keep waking up at 4 a.m. with ideas or arguments that I could say. So my brain's been cooking on this for a little bit.
Awesome.
End.
Good times.
Yeah.
Did you say your nervous level? I forgot.
I said 9.5.
9.5. That's pretty high up there. Convict number 2 tonight is played by Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Winnie, the level 6 monk, level 1 cleric. Her Punch McFist would be her real name.
Nice.
And
Nice.
that'd be mine. This is also how I name all my Pokemon. I'm just like, what's the vibes that kind of like anyway. And let's see. Nervous level. I feel like I'm definitely a 9.5, but I think I've kind of shot the moon and going back to like it is what grim acceptance, I guess, which is like better. So we'll see. Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's all.
Awesome. Convict number 3 tonight is played by Ashley.
I'm Ashley. I also make art. I've been trying to get back into Instagram posting again, so see more of that soon. I play Euphemia. She currently feels kind of like a caged animal in this cell, so we'll see how this trial goes for her. I think she'll be relieved to do something instead of waiting around. Let's see. I feel like her prison name would be something to do with an animal, because I have a feeling she would wild shape even in prison. So maybe like cat paw or something.
That's nice.
But nervous, 9 out of 10. I would say
Up
9
there,
out of
up
10
there.
today, for sure.
Awesome.
It's up there today.
And convict number 4. What?
The Grizzly. I love it.
The Grizzly. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very hardcore. She would nervously own it.
I'm the Grizzly.
They're like, oh, you get to go talk to the Grizzly, and like,
it's just Euphemia sitting there looking awkward.
Yes.
Bringing us to convict number 4, which is played by Mike.
Got my names. Hi, my name is Bardic Dice, also known as Michael. Got that backwards. Hi, my name is Michael, also known as Bardic Dice on all the socials. Part of the tavern here with Marquee Gaming. Right now, you can also see me Friday nights live on Arcane Sundries with our Strixhaven campaign, which is super fun. You'll get notified in the Discord in the tavern when we go live there. But yeah, nervousness pretty high. I play Davril, the talks too much foot in the mouth, artificer wizard. I'm between Thundertoes and Dave the Box. Berza
Oh,
is like,
Yeah.
you know, but
Dave's the
everyone calls him
Box
Dave
Berza.
because like he says Dav, but they just think it's Dave, and it just stuck. So
and the AI at Spotify thinks that.
yeah, it's
cool as
exactly.
well.
So yeah.
Also,
The boxer, that is a good one.
Phantom said the. Yeah,
The
and
boxer.
also, Phantom said the Cyclops.
True.
It's true. I like
Okay.
it. I was thinking one-eyed Dave. That was on the list. Yeah.
So good.
You didn't give us a number. You just said a lot.
That's
nervous.
true.
Yeah, it's off the meter.
Off the
Oh,
chart.
This
it's
is-
past 10?
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm more nervous now than I am most boss fights.
I feel a little better then.
Oh yeah, this is not Dav's territory whatsoever. I don't know what I'm just not gonna say much. I'm very nervous.
Wait, yeah, so do you have, because I feel like my charisma modifier is 0, so I'm like, it's pure
I
dice
got
roll. Should it
charisma,
maybe?
but like I talk down my charisma in these games. I just don't know what it is with Dav. He just puts his foot in the mouth normally. So
I've
I know.
been saying that this is a social boss battle. This
Yeah, I love
This,
the way you put that. Mhm.
Certainly what it feels like.
whatever number of sessions this ends up being is a social boss battle. But we do share a Discord with Bardic Dice. If you'd like to join that, link is in the chat. You can hop on over there and be a part of that community. We do have a channel as well in there with a thread, mishaps related, and the thread is about previous sessions. If you ever need to get caught back up on something you missed, you could always check it on YouTube or on podcast if that's better for you as well. And you can post gifts during the session in our Mystical Mishaps channel, which we would love to see during the session. And it makes people laugh, and it's a good time. Might lighten the mood a little bit tonight. I am Mark, the Dungeon Master, and I would say my nervousness level is like a 2, but, there is a little bit of nervousness.
Okay. I don't know if that makes me feel better. Maybe a little.
Every time he underestimates a boss battle, we get swamped.
That's
So
true.
That's true,
That's
That is
true.
true.
I'm like,
That's
I think
true.
you
this
guys
is
will be
all,
fine.
like, under 1 CR. They're level 10. Like, it'll be fine. Nope. Nearly killed them all.
They have like 2 hit points.
We were literally talking about the apartment fight this morning in Beacons, where like we got demolished by like people half our level. Yeah.
I did not go hashtag no mercy Mark though, and I was talking to Rachel, and I'm gonna offer up 1 potential extra mercy if you guys take me up on it. So the fun little thing that I'm going to offer for the first session of 2025, if all 4 of you get up, stand within view of the camera, and dance for 15 seconds before the session, I will give 1 extra advantage roll to be used by anybody. Your party's choice on what that would be. So,
When you say anybody, do you mean like any of us 4, or anyone as in like you get it
no, one of you 4.
too? Like
One
your
of you
own
4.
rules.
I'm not dancing. You 4 dance, and you get 1 extra that I will give to you as a freebie for you to use as your choice. If all 4 of you, though, it has to be all 4 of you.
Did you see Amar drink 1,000 root beer floats?
1,000 root beer floats, I'll do it too.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Do we have a deal?
I'll
mean,
do it if you guys do, but
I'm
I don't
down.
know.
I don't care.
I'm
Sure.
pulling the real Boyd look over here by offering a deal here with the mustache and
Absolutely Boyd's energy.
You have to
All
wave your
right.
hands though, because like my headphones are attached. So, like I won't know in 15 seconds.
Yeah,
you're
I
done.
can't-
I mean, I'll count, but
Yeah.
I'll probably lose track.
totally. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'll
Okay,
get my,
don't play. I got my count.
I will put up my timer so you can see the timer once you go.
Okay.
There we go.
So once you
Hey,
all start,
chat, you can dance with us. It'll be like a children's episode of like Dora the Explorer or something.
Yeah.
everyone can dance along with
Yeah.
the party. I wonder if I have a good song I can play while this is going on. Let's see.
Gotta
Well,
get
We
can't
can't
hear
hear
it.
it though.
You
We
can't hear it.
Wait, what am I?
Sadly.
My personal take would be apate, but everyone knows that about me. So.
I'm gonna have to find a dance song for myself.
Same. I literally am looking on my thing. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
me too.
if I do it to dead silence, that's not gonna go. That's
It's
gonna
yeah,
fly.
it's gonna be too sad, honestly.
Sorry, just sad.
I don't know what this song is, but let's just put it in here for fun.
Hooray, we're going to jail. Executioner, no exit.
Let's try this one maybe. It was a little slow.
Oh my goodness.
Alrighty. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Everyone can get up. I'll start the timer once you
Cool.
all go.
Oh boy.
Great. Look, I'm not even like on the camera thing.
I know. Like, we're gonna do some arm interpretive dancing.
I love how you're all willing to do this.
That's how nervous we are.
Ready, set, go.
It's so much worse when there's no music.
Yes. So good. So good. I love it. I love it. Good job, everybody.
My song was taking off right as the 15 seconds. I was like, oh man, I guess we could have.
Oh, man. There you go. One extra advantage die for you to use tonight.
Yeah.
And we will hold on to that. But why don't we run our intro so we can get into tonight's session?
I gotta fix my blend. What song do you think you will do?
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. We're
Sorry.
back. Our party is having a great time talking about our dance party.
Indeed.
It was a good time. I greatly appreciated all of them and their willingness to dance.
I thought Mark was recording us at first. I was like, he would. Like, sir, what kind of evidence do you think this party of Horde Hunters would be if they did this in the jail while we were sitting there waiting? Do they look guilty to you?
Oh my gosh.
Would
Some
these
carefree friends.
four do anything bad ever? Come on.
Literally, yeah, for real though.
Look at that.
Charges.
All right, let's see. Ashley and Mike, you both got advantage dice. Callie, yours just came in.
Yay.
Rachel is lonely and
Oh,
alone
wow.
over there.
Oh, that's fine, I guess.
And
I
a
love
raise
the
and a
shit.
super
The
raise.
super raise.
I
Wow.
love it. Thank you for that. I appreciate
Your
y'all.
goose is cooked.
Oh,
Oh,
Adam.
man.
You're the best.
There you go. Now you got a
Wow.
rage.
I love
I
you guys.
I know, like, need
Now
this.
you got it.
I
Rachel didn't need it. She's not gonna be talking at all this session.
He doesn't need any kind of talking to happen.
No way. All of you got your bless or advantage, and let's see who the bless goes to. That goes to Mike.
Yeah, that's what you do when you bless everyone with your dancing.
Exactly.
Sorry, wrong game.
Y'all did great. Oh wow. Mishaps suggestion: players have to dance for 15 seconds. Have to dance for 15 seconds. If Mark approves, they get advantage. If he disapproves, you get disadvantage. I like that one.
I won't even try.
Dancing for judgment? Oh no.
yeah. Like,
We're
you
in
know,
trouble.
Mark grants you a numerical score. Score to go break out of the chart. Like,
I
5 is not good enough. Sorry.
I'd be destroyed by the judgment.
Well, anyways, recap. Our party was captured by a group of monster hunters who were looking to apprehend Eleonora because of a bounty that is upon her head. But the party was saying, no, we're not going to let that happen, so a fight breaks out. The monster hunters were too much for our little tiny monster hunter party and could not defeat them. So Eleanor was captured, and then they left the other 3 tied up unconscious without their weapons back at the campsite. So this led to multiple days of travel, eventually with the party closely falling behind, and they eventually reached the city of Northport. They have been to before and had some interesting times there. I think that was another one of their lowest moments was at Northport. Just kind of the lowest moments seem to have at Northport.
Great.
Yeah.
Thinking that too.
One of my favorite places.
Not our city.
Apparently
I
not.
love the place.
But Eleanor got turned over to the Watchlight. The party then turned themselves in. Their items were given over or taken away from them at the Watchlight. They are in prison. They were able to talk within their cells for a little bit, being told that they are going to await their time before a judge, which will be beginning the next day, which is where we're going to pick up our session. Is the next morning. All 4 of you are in your cells, awoken, ready to begin the day.
Just verifying, did we get our long rests in? Did we have any dreams that stopped it?
You do have a long rest.
Okay.
Wow.
So no mercy, Mark. Wow, thank you.
Been pretty merciful today. Turned over a new leaf.
So-
A new year.
Wow, that look.
I had such a bad joke on the wing. Sorry, I'm gonna hold it to myself.
Okay. All right. So you all wake up. Anything before the day begins that you guys would like to do?
Do we get like an opportunity to like clean up at all, or are we still just like really dirty from the whole ordeal of everything?
Yeah, you can clean yourself up. There's a opportunity to be clean.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's like standard issue like jail clothes you've been given to have, because your possessions are taken from you. So they would give those to you.
What do they look like?
They're pretty plain.
Okay.
Rachel, pick a color.
I get to pick a color?
You can pick the color. I'll let you pick as the artist of the channel.
Whoa! Oh my gosh.
Hey, merciful. Mercy. So much mercy from me.
Oh my
I
god.
like it. I don't like it.
What a nice maroon. I don't know.
Sure, we can do blue.
Blue. They're blue. Little blue outfits that you can wear.
Cute, we all match.
Does it pop with my eye?
I think Eleanor's been like on and off, like waking up and thinking, and like she's just like I think she was up kind of late too, like just trying to go over in her head every possible thing that could work in our favor, could work against us, all that stuff. And she, I think the only thing she might do though, like, is when she's like laying in the bed or whatever, I think she would like focus her, like, see if she can focus like the feeling of like the mark on her arm, and if she has like a connection to death at all, since she doesn't have her book.
Why don't you give me a charisma check?
I rolled a 8.
Kind of focus in and even maybe like fluctuate the glow slightly just to see if it does anything. You don't really feel anything abnormal about it, just kind of is this marking on your shoulder.
Okay. Okay. I think I would try and like mutter like really softly, like, you know, I'm like laying there, you know, so I'm trying to be like kind of sneaky, like my back's to like, or I'm facing like the wall or something, but I just say, I need to talk to you. like I need to talk. Like, that's all she says, but
Yep.
I don't know if it does anything.
All right. Anybody else doing anything?
How close are the cells to each other?
I mean, you're all kind of adjacent to each other. You can see people across from you pretty well, and like 4 cells side by side.
Yeah, not much of anything, but when Dav gets up, he kind of gets up from a thought he had. I'll kind of walk over and kind of like the whole time he's been singing at the gate, like on the, you know, the whole bars anyway. So he kind of like mimics the same motion, but covers his mouth a little bit. But he'll just kind of like, hey, Eleonora, I had a weird Hail Mary thought, if you ever think it could come in handy. If we don't get certain people to come help us, I could always reach out to the dream again. I don't think it'll be helpful, but just something I wanted to offer up.
Do I feel like he's talking about Aqua? Is that
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought so. I just want to make sure. She just...
I don't think it's a good idea, but just want to put it out there as an option on the list. But I didn't think about it till this morning, or just now.
She just kind of gives like a minimal response because she's not sure who's like listening.
Yep. Cool. No, but he just turns and starts talking his thing again.
All right. Anybody else?
I think, yeah, Euphemia paced around a lot last night before she got tired and finally crashed, but I think she wakes up and goes back to it, like back and forth, back and forth. She's been thinking through like everything she can kind of like separate in her mind between the timelines and the case specifically, since we have like, she's thinking that might be the only way she can potentially prove like us going back and forth. So she's been kind of, it's a tricky one because it's not her just thinking about information, it's her thinking about the feelings associated with. So I think she's still pretty wound up, but at a point, like after we all are kind of cleaned up and reset a little bit, is this cell made out of like stone or is it like concrete?
It would probably be like a stone and metal.
Okay. Yeah, she'll sit on the floor and put her hands on the floor and just try to maybe connect with like, I guess like the earth below her, even though it's, you know, been hewn into a cell. it's not. I think after spending so much time in the mountains, she's just gonna reach into that and try to at least settle herself so she can think a little more clearly.
Okay.
So.
Good.
It's definitely a morning of like for like a while, and then she finally gets quiet. You can hear her try to like settle down.
Yeah. Winnie, anything for you?
I think that she'd probably just be like, God, I don't know, dude, just going back over like everything she's written down and be like, oh, like making sure I remember. And like I'm not practicing what to say, but just kind of like thinking over like how she wants to say things, I guess. So,
All right.
yeah.
Good. Well, if nothing else, the four of you are met by a few guards. They come down. They approach you. They're all, again, watchlight. That's who you're at. And what they do is they take these bands and they say, we're going to put this around your neck. See, there's different things on the bands. They're there.
Mm.
So they will
What are these for?
make sure that everything goes well today.
Magic suppression.
There will be multiple things that this does. So there you go, and they clasp them around each of your necks. They will manacle all four of you. Your hands behind your back. And then they will begin to lead you out. Head down hallways. And eventually you arrive at another room. A little bit a ways from where you were, but you arrive at another room. They lead you inside. And the doorway goes away. Like it just like closes off and you're in a completely sealed room. Kind of round in shape. And you see there's multiple people here. There's some seats for like people who might be witnesses to in case they could sit there. There's a few people sitting in different places. There is a spot where it looks like there would be a judge placement. You notice that there are a couple spots near the front. One side already has some people seated there. There's noticeably guards around this whole area as well. And you four get led to the other table opposite of where these people are already seated. And they'll uncuff you and have you sit down.
Do we recognize any of these people who are in this room or no?
Yeah, I
You
was
can roll
gonna ask.
perception. See if you recognize it.
Ooh.
16.
9.
13.
Yeah, nat 20 for 24.
Nice.
Okay.
It's very strong.
There
Her eyes
might
look
be like a
sharp.
couple faces of guards that you recognize just like from being in the city. You might have like, oh, okay, I think I saw that person before. You had a few interactions, I think, with some of them here, but no one really of note stands out to you at this point. Wait a little bit. The people opposite table of you, they look like they're in discussion. It looks like there is a woman there she has kind of like dirty blonde hair and green
Everybody
eyes.
froze.
Oh no.
Oh, there she goes.
Ashley's gone. No. Well, Ashley had a mishap.
Right. It's okay, Euphemia. We'll be okay. We can get through this.
So, anyways, there's this woman there who is. She is clearly like the lead on the other side of this. She seems to be taking charge and talking over with some other people who look like they're members of the Watchlight and potentially discussing their side of things.
Ashley said her computer crashed, so she'll be back.
Okay. We'll see her soon. A little bit of time passes as you guys can sit there. If you guys have anything you want to say real quick. for that, you can. Otherwise, we can jump right into it.
I will say I think that aside from like maybe some time in the desert, I don't know if the party has ever seen Eleonora look so like plain, because like her hair is like not voluminous, it's like really straight. Like it's like a little wavy, but it's like, you know, kind of sits on her head a little more, like lays flat. She doesn't really have makeup on. And she I think it's just down too. Like I don't really think there's anything they have to like fix their hair. So like she just looks like really normal, and it's probably kind of weird. And I'd say she probably even has like a lot of like chafing around like her wrists and stuff from the whole journey. But she just looks at the four of you. She'll even like take whoever I'm sitting next to, like take their hand a little bit and be like, we'll try our best. We'll do what we can.
Welcome back, Ashley.
Or my computer did that. It was nervous too, I guess.
But you guys wait a little bit, and then the judge comes in. Goes and takes a seat at the podium or whatever it's called. And I'm just gonna say I'm not a court expert. I mess up on stuff. That's just how it's gonna be. I'm gonna do my best to describe it.
It's fantasy court.
Yes.
You can make it whatever you want.
It's not the American legal system. So we're gonna just go with whatever happens here. But the judge introduced himself, says, "Good morning, everybody. My name is Benton Lamb. I will be presiding over this today." Looks at some notes. You four, you are being tried for multiple things here, it seems. Prosecution looks over to the woman who is on the other table, and she'll introduce herself to you all. Her name is Fronda Kredge. Rana
How do you-
Kredge. Frona and Credge.
We just rename her Wanda. I feel like we're gonna have the same luck against her.
You might. She is an inspiration for this character.
I was wondering if we were gonna come up against Wanda.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Ship says, "Oh no."
Let's see. We got
Well,
chat
that's the game,
blessing. Chat blessing goes to Ashley.
Thank you. Gonna need it.
And have a raise and a super raise again. Thank you. Yeah, you guys feel that mishap level up to extreme as you're kind of sitting there waiting for everything to start, and tingles on your neck just continue to rise higher and higher.
Might be a good thing.
All right. So, so the judge, Judge Lamb, looks it over, says, "All right, well, you four are being accused of multiple things here. It looks like there are accusations of the cracks in Heaven's Reach and Shadow Rock that are being against you and resulting in the deaths of many people. Then kidnapping is on here as well. Murder is on here. Well, these are pretty serious crimes. Hope to get to the bottom of this in a timely manner. You four are able to find representation if you'd like to. The court will allow you to have one feather token to message somebody each. That will be for you to contact defendant or lawyer, defense lawyer, if you see fit, or to acquire any evidence that you may like to do if you choose to represent yourself. And do you have any questions before we begin?
So, are you going to go into the specifics of the charges, or is that for later?
What specifics are you looking for?
The murder of who, number of deaths, things like that.
So we have he looks through the notes. The approximate dead in Heaven's Reach is currently not entirely known, but estimates up to 573. And the approximate dead in Shadow Rock is up to 18. There's still some investigations into those, as they're not terribly long ago, but been looked into. There are murder charges for some of the guards that were at your family home, Eleanor. And kidnapping of your son.
The gods of the home, does one of them include Perceiva Rockstride?
He kind of looks through the notes. No, I don't see her on here.
Oh.
I believe she's still alive.
Did not suspect that. I didn't say that in character. Oh, wow.
I guess we didn't finish our job. Oh man.
I need to go back there. Thank you. That is very helpful.
Your Honor. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just was going to ask if we have need of another feather token, how would we be able to obtain that if 4 is not enough?
If you need more, those will be required to come out of your funds. We have those confiscated from you, and that to acquire a new one.
Sure. Devil?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Are we privileged to the same evidence that the prosecutors are presenting against us to build our defense? Or the evidence you have that was part of our accusations?
Something that they're going to actually get into in a second. They can go over their case against you. Miss Kredge, if you'd like to, and stand up and walk forward. There's like a circle at the center that she goes and walks into. Were you whispering something, Rachel?
I was trying to say I had one more question before things got started.
Okay, go for it. Use that. Walk up and you can ask something.
Oh, I was sorry. One more question. How would one go about finding a defense attorney if we do not have one local to the city? Do you have a list or something, or pricing, anything like that?
I believe there are some who occasionally will come by the Watchlight and potentially be hireable there. You also can use one of your feather tokens to reach out to the attorney office, and
Sure,
maybe.
we will be provided with information of that.
Yes.
All
right. Yes, question.
Can I insight Fronda as she goes up?
Sure, what are you looking for?
I just want to see like her general mood and like does she look like mad at us if she sees us? Like is she harboring any kind of like already like preconceived emotion?
Okay.
I think that's kind of
Go ahead, roll.
15.
Okay. The general vibe you get from her is she's just very serious. She looks like she's dressed like a member of the Watchlight, so she seems to be somebody who is a representative of the Watchlight. But yeah, she looks pretty sure she's not really looking at you four, or kind of
Okay.
almost like going through her notes as she's walking up.
Okay.
She's walking into this circle, but you can see also has multiple runes around it. Stand there, and some of them begin to glow while she walks into it. And the judge kind of looks over to you and just says, this, among other things, ensures that the truth is being spoken. In case any of you are not aware, you are required to submit willfully to speak truthfully in the circle, or it is an automatic charge of perjury.
Don't say anything.
Understood. Thank you.
But she'll walk in and say, our primary case is against Eleonora. And she begins to read. On 7/10/1988, she attempted to assassinate her brother Alexander Edivane. She hired an assassin who attempted to take his life and ended up being sent from her family home and told not to return. Her brother writes that he did not want the harm come to her, but could not feel like she was safe to keep at family home anymore. From evidence that we found, including a notebook and letters upon her being turned in to us, we believe that sometime after that point, she made a connection to the evil deity Death and began to work with him. It was at a later date, 8/11 of 9190, that we believe is the first meeting of all four of them together. It kind of motions to your table. They were in the city of Heaven's Reach and were joining a group of attempting to join a group of monster hunters. Later, on approximately the week of 8/19 to 8/26, they were in Lakeside. They ended up taking a job there and claiming payment for it, which they did not actually complete. They did end up repaying this, but it was after their allotted window for reimbursement to the city. But they did end up returning the money. At their time of the departure from Lakeside, though, a mishap suppression orb from Lakeside Institute was stolen. It was the same day that this group, known as the Horde Hunters, had left town. We believe that there may have been a connection. At that point, they left town, but shortly after that, there was a pink crack that was found in the New Minger Woods on 9-2 along the road, which we believe that they had traveled through from Heaven's Reach to Lakeside. The Horde Hunters were believed to have gone up through Yellowfield. During their time there, we believe that on 9/1, another one of these pink cracks appeared. They then were here in the city of Northport on 9/7. 2 days later, on 9/10, another crack appeared. The Horde Hunters left town that same day. Later that month, on 9/27, they were witnessed in the city of Heaven's Reach. A letter was received by former Watchlight member Edison Bartlett, who confirmed that their intentions were to arrive about that time. That night on 9/27, that massive crack through Heaven's Reach appeared, taking the lives of hundreds of individuals, civilians, families, and also many members of the Watchlight that were stationed there. As you said, the total is believed to be 573 and counting. The next time they were seen was on 10/16 in Shadow Rock. This is when Eleonora and the Horde Hunters attacked the Edivane mine in the home there and ended up kidnapping Julian Morris. How do you pronounce the original? Morris?
More so, yeah.
Morriso, yes. Close.
Yeah, I'd say his last name's kind of more so Edivane, like
Yeah.
that's his full name, like
Yes.
European, you know?
Yep,
Yeah.
Morriso Edivane. And ended up leaving a large crack through her former home, resulting to the deaths of at least 18 people. During this time, guards were attacked, and there were also attacks on her brother himself. Later, on 10/26, they were back in Heaven's Reach, where they evaded capture. It's believed that they used the crack that was formed to escape. We have suspicions that they are able to transport themselves somehow through these cracks. Through the evidence we've seen, this notebook that they have, and they sort of point to a table where there is some evidence things of some of your belongings. We have a notebook here that proves a connection to this evil entity, deity known as Death. As you may know, he is known to gather souls and use them for his magic. And he has had his followers slay on his behalf to gather souls for himself. This is an abomination unto the proper soul judgment process, and it is unknown what he uses these souls for. We believe that Eleonora works for Death and is collecting souls, and that these cracks are possible means to collect souls and transport themselves around the plane. According to their own words and Alexander's testimony, they claim that their deaths allow new cracks to form, and they would just appear in a different place. So, due to the risk that Eleonora and the Horde Hunters pose to this threat, or this plane, we request that the spell imprisonment be considered for her and potentially the other three as well.
What is that, Mark? Do we know what that is?
You can roll an Arcana check if you'd like to.
Yeah, would we know?
Yeah, I want to know about
That would
that.
be an Arcana check.
I don't think I got it.
6.
22.
11.
Okay.
17.
So Dav would be the only one who's heard anything about this. Dav, you know that this is a extremely powerful spell, like highest level of magic that's out there. Very rare that anybody could even cast this type of a spell. But basically, the synopsis of what you understand about it is it will magically restrain a creature to a certain place. And there's multiple ways it can be used, but it will make a creature basically be imprisoned somewhere, and it is extremely difficult to have somebody be released from this imprisonment.
Like magical house arrest, essentially. Or even worse.
Sometimes, yeah. It's not even that in all cases. Like, there potentially could be locked in a gem or things like that just like you are stuck in a location. Some people could be put to sleep indefinitely. There's multiple ways it can be cast. So.
Or could it also be cast on a poor businessman in a tower? Just wondering.
Maybe.
So,
Okay.
yes, she continues that she requested that Eleonora be considered for the imprisonment spell, and the other three can be assessed for the risk they pose and their involvement in the crimes that they are being accused of, and what type of punishment would be applicable to them. We would also request that an appeal to the gods be made to work to prevent Death from continuing what he is doing. Sort of as an after thing, like almost like putting this on the record, the Watchlight would like to greatly thank the Moon Guard for their capture of Eleonora and the prevention of continued danger to this plane. Thank you, Judge. He'll go turn and sit back down at the table. So Judge Lamb kind of looks to you for. So this is what you're being accused of. Do you have any further questions?
I would like further clarification on what the imprisonment spell is. I don't believe I've heard of that before.
That looks pretty pale. Like looking over it again.
It is a powerful magic that would remove the target from being a threat anymore. It could be multiple ways that it is used, but it is essentially magically imprisoning somebody to be removed from reality almost.
How often is this sort of punishment recommended within your courts?
It is almost never. This is the first time I've ever had to deal with this.
Thank you for your clarification.
Of course.
It's such a hard time keeping a straight face. Any of this is Michael. This is not Dad.
Sounds good. All right. I got a bless. Another bless that came in as well, which is going to Rachel. Lucky you, Rachel. You got your bless.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
All right.
Will my brother be in attendance, or does he only have a written statement?
I believe he has submitted a written statement.
I see.
Is this a judgment based on your own judgment or a court of peers? Or
I will be making the judgment here.
and is it, if you don't mind the clarification, is it a question on, I guess you were saying, our threat level on how dangerous we would be to the public at large, is what it sounds like.
I will make a judgment about what I believe is necessary based off of evidence that is presented to me. This is quite a serious case, as you all are clearly aware. Many have lost their lives in recent months, and we will be taking this quite seriously.
Understood.
Do you have any further questions before I release you to go and begin your defense?
How long do we have for this?
He looks at like down at his notes. I would like to get this dealt with as soon as possible. I don't like to leave these hanging out here. My hope is to have at least this begun in the next couple days.
Do you foresee how long the trial will last?
I don't know. I never do. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long.
Of course.
When I feel like I'm ready to make a judgment, I will.
Thank you for your clarification.
Just for starters here, are you submitting guilty or innocent to the charges that are against you?
Innocent.
All of you?
Yes.
Nods in agreement.
Any further questions?
I just looked at the others just to make sure. I don't think we have any further questions.
Well, that I'll release you. He'll get up and walk out, and like again, like a doorway appears, and he walks through it, and it seals back up. You guys have the guards approach you once again, kind of lock you back in some manacles, and they begin to lead you out as everyone's eyes are on you for essentially. Like, you clearly are center of attention, most hated people in the room, whatever it is for various people. Lots of different looks you're getting from the crowd.
I was gonna say, can I get a general read on the people as like a lot of these charges were read too?
Sure.
Um. 12.
There's a lot of people, so it's a little hard to get a lot, but you're getting that general sense of, yeah, people dislike you. A lot of the watchlight are giving you the stink eye.
Sure.
But otherwise, that's about it.
Okay.
Here's a weird question, because I know Dav doesn't do this often. And whether he's looking around or inciting, is there anyone that on the way out, because he's kind of keeping his head a little low, but just like looking around the room, he's used to the glances of hatred or not trusting or looking down upon. Is there anyone that looks like surprised of the charges, or anyone that looks even like what's the word, like empathetic of us?
You can roll an insight roll.
Just see if we have any sort of ally in the room. Nope, 6. So that's good. That's always fair.
There's not a ton of people here who look like they are sympathetic to you at all. Like, it's a lot of guards, a lot of people on the prosecution side. It's not really.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like we saw the guard that we helped protect from the monster, like, you know, like something like that we could have seen. And okay, cool.
All right, so you are led out and brought back to your cells, kind of the same pathway through all the different tunnels, rooms. Back to your cells. They will uncuff you again, and they each give you one token. Use.
As we're being brought in, he just looks to the guard. Is there any sort of expectation of privacy if we're reaching out to people in here, or are we assuming everything's being listened to?
You're under surveillance here all the time. Yes, you're in prison. You don't get
Sure.
privacy.
Did the judge say that there was sometimes defense attorneys in the area?
Yes, would you like some visit you?
As an option, yes, I think, yes.
All right, I will send someone down.
Is that automatically charged, or is it like a just to see if it works.
Consultation.
I wanted more information, I guess, on what this entails.
Yes, it can be. I think anybody who's willing to defend you will come down, and you can decide yes or no on that. It's not a
Sure. Oh,
commitment of
perfect.
anything at this point.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much.
So they'll lock you all in and leave. You do as you wish with your feather token. Wait, or whatever you want to do.
Eleonora is probably really like neutral the whole time. But she sits down, she kind of like has the feather token. We have a pen, I'm assuming, or something.
Yeah, you can write with like
writing utensils.
part of the whole process is you get what you need to send everything.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're
Okay.
gonna have to write in our own blood or something. Like,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
something gruesome. Yeah. So yeah, she just kind of like sits with the letter in her lap. She's just kind of like staring, like processing the charge.
Else? Anything?
Dev kind of
So
goes to like the
the
furthest
foot-
corner and he's like sitting and processing it too. I think he was almost ready to go in a different direction with the claim. So he's a little nervous now.
All right.
Who am I next to? I guess are we all kind of we can hear each other? You said, or am I next to anyone? Like,
You are all 4 cells. We'll just say it's like the screen. Eleanor and Winnie are next to each other, and
There we
Phoebe
go.
and Dav are next to each other across the hall.
okay,
Easy
I'll like
peasy.
go over to like, where I'm not like yelling or anything, but be like, Eleanor, do we want to wait to maybe use these until we know, like, about the attorneys and stuff? I don't know. I feel like if we can afford an attorney, we should probably get you one, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
I guess we can only see what they have to say. Do we have any other ideas of who we can write or options?
I'm just gonna maybe write Ernest just to see if he could at least come, because he knows about. I mean, we told him a little bit about our mishap affliction, I guess, and if he could get Vari to come and talk on our behalf. I don't know if she would, but I think he would at least be able to ask better than we could.
Vari's tricky because I didn't realize she might have thought we stole the orb as well.
If we tell them who really stole it, does not. Oh, we can't. All right. I mean, yeah. If we're looking for, I think that if we're looking for someone to confirm that we have this problem and we couldn't help it and that it's really uniquely bad, Vara would be the person to be able to,
Maybe. We'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure.
I do think we should try Heidi because we've spoken to her a few times about what's going on with us.
I think, yes, Heidi might be.
She was there at the start when everything went wrong too, so
I was thinking about writing. I mean, this might just. I'm not sure. I want to write the leader of the Grit because they know what's going on in the desert, and if he can collaborate, some of those claims might help.
Yeah, they don't always have to be in person. They could write a signed letter. It's called like an affidavit or something. So they should be able to accept that.
We might need to have a return token or something, though, for him, because he's in the middle of nowhere. I don't think he's going to be able to submit a claim. So we might need to buy
Can
one.
you send a token with a letter that you send using a token? I don't know.
I think you can. I would hope.
Like if we're
Can we, Mark? I think you told me we could because you said if I wanted that, but I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood.
I think
like if we wanted to use 2 tokens, one to send a message, one to give him something to send back.
I think that's like the only thing you could send though is an extra feather token back with it. You can't send like a package or anything.
Mhm.
But if you
Like
want
Oh,
to,
yeah,
paid
yeah.
envelope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just basically, like, please write back. Here's the token.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that would be possible.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Essentially like
Yeah,
a
a lot of
multiple
those-
charge feather token.
Mhm.
It can
Right.
be sent and returned.
Okay. I think that would be good because a lot of those claims are about Chatterrock.
No, I mean, all we have is our wood. There's not a lot of actual evidence that we have here, unfortunately. So anything we can grasp at here is we have to take.
Right. I think convincing him of exactly what we've gone through is our best bet.
Like we said, being truthful.
The other thing I thought was if we do need some proof, we could potentially look into the grave sites here that we investigated in the other timeline. If they're also mushroom
Matching.
infested. I wish we knew how far Edison here had gotten.
Right.
Because maybe he already. But we could contact someone in Edgefort potentially to check on that. I don't know if Watchlight would even tell us if they've been investigated already. Seems like a lot to ask, but
So, I guess we can see how much this lawyer is and if it's possible. And if not, do we want to ask Heidi then? Or is there anyone else?
Our friend in Yellowfields, I think he would be a pretty smart one to defend us if we needed it, but probably have to reach out to him first.
Sure. I wonder if we should too.
As you guys are kind of waiting, you hear some footsteps coming down, and approaching you is an individual dressed in some nice, flashy Victorian garb, big smile on his face. Hello. Sounds like you four need some defense over here. The name's Justin. Just in case you need some justice. Just in case
I
he's
knew
on
it. I knew it. This is your time for Saul Goodman. Here he is.
There you go.
The second you smiled, I'm like, he's making a Saul Goodman NPC.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Oh my god.
What's our general vibe of him? Like,
Yeah.
does he seem like really like slimy, or like just like immediately, or does he seem like
Right.
we can't
Or is
really
he
get a
just,
good
like-
read?
Love his job.
Yeah, what's his vibe?
I mean, it's pretty early to tell that, but I think you guys can have your own judgment based off that intro, what you think about it.
Okay.
What is it? And I don't even remember what you said because.
Just in case you need
What do you say,
justice,
James?
get just in case.
What is this reference again? Is this from
It's Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Saul the lawyer.
Saul Goodman, the lawyer.
It's all good, man. Like he has a pun for his name.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I never got that far. All right.
Is
I
this
just want to make sure this wasn't
human,
another campaign.
elf? Like, who is this guy?
He's a human.
How old is he? Okay.
Yeah, middle
old is he?
age. Middle age.
A perfect satyr fae or something. Anyways.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming down to see us.
Of course. Willing to help out. So, you need some defense, sounds like. Pretty serious charges against you for.
Yes, it's quite the conundrum. I don't know how confident you feel for something like this. The judge told us that a sentence such as mine is very rare. So, or what they were aiming for, I guess.
I would give you the best criminal defense possible.
Well, thank you. What are your rates?
4 people. We'll do. Typically, it's 5 gold per day per person. So 40 or 20. Do 20. Nice discount rate right there. 20 gold per day for the 4 of you.
Why discounted?
Well, I mean, 4 for 1 type deal.
You also get to get your name out there as well.
Can I insight him and see like it?
Mm-hmm.
Can we insight that like his? I don't know, just his whole thing.
Sure.
Oh no, I got. Well, I actually got 9. Not great, but my thing is basically like, is it that like he's desperate for clientele because he's really bad, or you know, what's like the? I guess I'm trying to see what his mood is behind what he's saying.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's willing to help you guys.
I got a 22. I would like to mostly incite his claim of I will give you the best defense possible. Like, does he intend to win?
Yes, you
Or
get the
does
sense
he
that
not care 'cause
he
he gets paid?
is genuine in that statement.
Okay. This is like
I think we're guilty, but he still wants to win.
Does he seem? Well, I guess I'll just ask him honestly. I don't know what an insight roll would do for this. How long have you been at work within the law?
I mean, I've been around a little bit. Maybe not the longest, but you know, some fresh eyes on your case might be a good thing. Some new blood, you know? Really help the cause.
How
Sure.
new? Like how new are we talking?
I think within the year.
Oh, very nice.
Like
Have
months,
you-
months, weeks, or?
I mean, specifics aren't necessarily the most important thing, but I've been practicing, like, working with you all for quite some time. Like, I can definitely help you.
With you all? Do you mean like
People who need
criminals?
help, people who need defense.
Oh, yes. How many have you won any cases or anything?
Depends on what you mean by win, but yeah.
Well, what do you mean by win?
Giving the best defense that you can and making sure my clients get the best result possible.
So mitigating the worst.
Yeah, is that what you're saying, basically?
Well, I mean, some people have actually done some bad things, and you can walk back maybe a really bad sentence to something a little lesser, and it could be a win-win at that moment. Rather than go away for years, maybe it's just community service.
Sure.
Would that be your aim, is to walk back some of these charges to more manageable ones, or to actually get us to be freed on innocent?
Like I said, the best defense possible.
So what, from your
Hire me.
experience in the last.
You hire me. We can discuss things more in depth and find out what would be the best option.
Sure. Yes. Quick question before, with your expertise of the last year, how confident are you that you could walk this charge of imprisonment down to what?
I'd have to look at all the specifics, but again, the
Sure.
best defense possible.
Just like as like a side thing, like would I, just like generally, like I think, would we know how much like a lawyer typically costs for something like this? Like, does that seem alarmingly cheap? I guess, in in her mind.
You could roll a history roll.
Okay, because if I heard a lawyer was like, oh yeah, $15 an hour, I'd be like, huh? Like I'd be very,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't seem. Oh, I rolled good. 1 second. What's my history? Oh, 21.
That seems like it's more than like an average person makes in a day, but it's not like very high. It's like kind of low for what you would expect a lawyer to be.
Yeah, I think I kind of might like catch Eleanor's eye and just kind of make like just a subtle, like I don't know, or just be like kind of just like not even like that, but just something kind of like a sort of like a look of like I don't know kind of thing. I don't know, just to see if.
I did roll an insight, I just didn't end up using it, so if you want me to re-roll again, I can.
What did you roll?
But I rolled a 19, and I think my insight would be, does it seem like he's almost like in denial in his confidence, or does it feel like he actually thinks he can represent us in a good way?
He seems genuine to you too. Same thing Euphemia got.
Okay.
He seems genuine in what he's saying.
Okay. Would you give us 5 minutes to talk about it? Would you mind?
Of course.
Thank you.
Be waiting for your response. He'll turn and start walking.
Okay, so I'll just say, I don't know if we have many options.
So they send over a few lawyers, right? Or is it just the one?
I don't know if anyone else wants to.
We're a
That's
big
the
ask.
thing.
Yeah, I don't want to get into a bidding war.
We actually can afford this.
Yeah.
And someone that's hungry to make a name for themselves. It's gonna work hard.
Really? What if he makes things worse? I don't know. It makes me nervous.
How much worse could they get?
How could it
honestly?
That's
You-
true. That's true.
You do pay for what you get for, though.
You do, I
That's-
know. But we have that or Heidi, who has no experience whatsoever. So really, we have a person who's a year into this, and we have a person
Well,
who's
I don't even know if
never
he's
done it in their life.
He said within the year. He's not a year into it. He said within the year. That could be weeks. I don't know. He's being very, very
It
evasive
could
about
be.
that.
But he
Um,
has credentials, is the thing.
That's my point.
He was also realistic in that he may not be able to drop all the charges.
Acquittal, but yeah. I guess can I go over one of the guards? Like, excuse me. I have a question.
Start yelling down the hallway for a guard.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
A guard will come down. Yes.
They told us in the other room that they was that the representation would come and let us know about services. Is he the only one that showed up, or do more typically kind of flow in? How does that usually work?
He's the only one who's willing to take your case over here.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, all of you guys like, he's all we got. I think that's about it. So
Winnie, I like your judgment. Maybe I should sway my answer, go with you.
I mean, if I thought maybe we could again but even wasting tokens to call around if he's the only one
That's my
who's
wonder is
Yeah.
Him per day is cheaper than us buying a bunch of tokens.
Yeah.
I agree.
If anything.
Well, we are innocent. I mean, hopefully we can just prove the truth. That's got to be easier than proving. I mean, not easier when you have multiple different timelines, but you know what I mean. Like,
That's what I
I
mean. Yes,
hope.
that's what's unfortunate with it. But
And if he starts bumbling it, Eleanor, you actually did really good there. So maybe we can
I'm
defend
sorry?
ourselves.
what did you say?
Sorry, we distracted a bunch.
Distracted by a
Well, you are
man on the
just-
screen.
this is just not
Clutching
you.
his head in
You-
distraction somehow, like I feel right now for some reason. So
Like I'm still getting over the lack of makeup and the pompadour, and then now you're
Oh, please
distracted.
don't
You're a
look at
different
me.
person.
Yes, please don't look at me. What, Davril? What?
You can see like his hair was like as nicely made as he could walking up. I was going to say it's coming back. Okay. Even if he does fumble it, he's still going to be useful pre-trial, and you actually held yourself really well in there. So, I mean, I could actually,
Thank you.
perchance, see you defending yourself if need be.
I'll do it.
I'm
Yes.
just, I wasn't expecting to hear numbers. I wasn't.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
So, we can convince them that we can try and help put this to right, and that's our argument. So, personally, I think we have to take what we can get. Perhaps we have some leeway. I mean, I guess if we really feel like he's doing a bad job, we can always, like you said, just say we'll represent ourselves or something. But he might be able to do a lot more of the legwork for us than we can in here.
As you guys are talking, you notice everything around you starts to get a little darker.
Oh, he did come!
Did
Yes!
you?
And emerging
Oh,
down the
man.
hallway through the shadows, you see a familiar suited gentleman.
Phew.
You see the face of death appear. Well, look at you four. You really got yourself into
Oh.
a situation here, haven't you?
You did come. Did you hear me? Or did you have been watching?
Well, you haven't contacted me in days. I figured something was up. Could I come take a look? Didn't really expect to find you here. You're
That's not
alive, you
good.
know, right?
Yes, it was far more widespread. The hunt for us, me, it was far more widespread than I thought. We found monster hunters on the road. Recognized me instantly. We were all the way up by Northport. I thought maybe it was more contained to Heaven's Reach. They overpowered us very quickly. Couldn't risk another mishap crack, and here we are.
All right. So we getting you out of here, or how do you want to do this?
Oh, wait. An offer. How would that work?
Well, I do have someone who can come and get you out of here. You'll probably be wanted for a long time if you go that route. Just a heads up.
Yes.
You have to probably prove innocence beyond that point, because you'll be definitely fugitives from that point on. But I can get you out of here if you need to.
Oh.
Pick up those cufflinks
Do you-
too.
Oh, yes. True. Oh, thank you for the offer. Lucy would just charge in here or something? Is that...
Yeah, we'll get you out.
What's this?
I
What's
guess
his mood?
Yeah, is he like chipper about this?
I love kidnapping releases.
he
Done it
loves a
before,
good
memory
people out.
lane.
He does. He loves a good jailbreak.
I know the perfect right-hand team to send for this one.
I guess I'm like, because wait, is just Eleanor in this conversation? We all are in the
You
conversation.
all are in this one.
Okay. I'll be like, I kind of look at Eleonora and be like, maybe we should take him up on it if we lose, and if they're going to imprison you. I think we should definitely take him up on it then.
Yes, Death.
I mean, better
worrying
punitive than
about-
you imprisoned. I don't know.
Right. Yes. Death. The sentence they're recommending. Mostly for me, maybe for the other three. I think we can prove them innocent pretty easily. Well, maybe not easily, but more readily. On my end, they recommend the spell. It's called imprisonment or something.
All right. That's pretty serious.
And you know what that is, I'm assuming.
Yes, I do know.
Inside check. I'm just kidding.
I know.
How well?
What is it exactly? I guess I don't really know much about it.
You imprison the target somewhere.
Put them in a gem, attach them to a place that they can't leave,
Exactly.
shunt them to a realm.
And I feel like they should have more
How-
specifics for how they're going to imprison you if they're giving you that I mean, I guess they're doing sentencing, but still, it's I don't know.
I think it depends
It's-
on
it's-
the caster of it. They have limitations sometimes, but
Okay.
usually a material
If-
focus that's used for it.
If this happened to Eleonora, would you be able to dismantle it?
Or break her out.
I cannot get involved in it. Somebody else could. But there
No.
most likely will be challenges to whoever does that, and they will not be simple challenges.
Something you should also know attached to this is, I mean, they uncovered a lot. We had a lot on us, so they clearly know my association with you.
I was going to say,
and
it's not just you,
they-
Eleanor. It's death on trial in a way.
In a way, it is because they think that the mishap cracks are attached to you. Like you're using me to form the
trap
mishap
people through the
cracks,
cracks.
to kill
and-
people,
Yes.
to have
See.
souls.
Well, interesting.
So they're recommending if the trial goes poorly, or potentially even, I guess, if you break us out, they're recommending that a movement be had to try and assemble the gods to take care of you.
That's kind of why. I mean, I know it's out there, but would you want to use this as an opportunity to try and legitimize yourself in front of the eyes of others?
There are risks involved, I think, either way. I don't know if me being there would help you. If you're asking me to do so. Perhaps. But if you are on trial because of your connection to me, this will most certainly show you have a close connection to me. Will solidify people's opinions of you. And it'll be difficult to change people's minds on me. Especially if we do not have proof of thing.
I mean, I guess even if you did come, it would be your word, and that's it. Apparently, too. I mean, do you have?
I mean, it's no different than proving our word, really.
I mean, you helped save everything during the shudder, but I mean, you and Lucy, but I don't know if that is anything that anyone would take as fact. I don't know if that's even well known.
Not the most well-known thing, but I guess, do you want me to represent you, or would you prefer somebody else? Or
You would
do I just get you out of here?
Oh my. So you're actually offering to represent us, like.
How do you want
Okay.
this to end, I guess? What's your end goal? What's your number one
Uh,
hope for end result of this? It can go a lot of different
People
ways.
believing us. People believing us would be great.
Great. Do you have anything to prove that?
I mean, yes, I mean, people believing us, but I think the end goal would be that all of us are free enough to try and fix this, that it's convinced
Yeah.
that you are helping us in trying to fix everything.
The connection's already there.
That we've
We are the
been
only-
seeking a way to stop it, not
We're the-
intentionally cause harm.
We may be the only ones that can, because of our ability to travel, if Huneric is the answer. So, that would be the end goal, and also that Julian is left alone. If I end up being taken off the board, he has to stay away from Alexander. He cannot be found.
What do you want?
So, out of character moment. He's offering to be our lawyer?
He is saying
Or is
that
he offering to come
he-
and talk?
he could potentially be your lawyer if you want to.
Okay.
He doesn't
Oh,
seem
God.
like that would be the best thing to do, but he's offering to do it
Okay.
because, yeah, preconceived notions.
Yeah, but
against
the
him.
art that comes from that, Mark. I mean,
Yeah,
think
like
about
that would be some hardcore
Like,
art.
if you want to do it, you certainly can. If you
Yeah.
don't want that, that's fine. He's also offering to get you out, not through the justice system.
Oh, sure. Do you think you would be willing to maybe not represent us entirely, but to talk as like a testimony?
What do you want me to say?
Well,
and it's not your intention to send her here to create cracks and kill souls or murder those people in the cracks.
well, I just kind of look at him like, can you freeze them? But I don't really want to be super obvious about it either.
Yeah, he'll just like freeze up in the moment. Yes.
Do my thought, at least, if it's essentially sort of like you're on trial too. I mean, what it sounds like is that there was a change, and you've operated differently for quite some time. So wouldn't that be the angle? Like if you're trying to get more people to be recruited and things like that too. That you don't operate the way that you used to. It's changed.
I'm not trying to prove myself to people in Northport, though. I don't think that's my responsibility to go and answer to every person who has a question of me. I want to do what I do, but I'm not going to show up in every courtroom that has an issue with me.
Oh, yes. I mean, I understand that. I guess especially because it has to... Well, you're right. I mean, I don't know how many times have people petitioned against you before. Has it happened?
I am
This is not the first time.
quite hated.
All right. So this is probably old news. It's not like a big tragic affair to you.
No, I'm used to it.
Of course. Well, can you tell me this? has there been anything since the shudder that has been publicly known that you've been involved with that could be pointed back as evidence that would lead to nefarious purposes or like old ways of operating?
It depends on who you ask. Just the way I operate is evil in every way, according to some.
That's true. There isn't anything according to you, though?
I would not say so.
All right. I had to ask. That was my angle, at least. Is that, even if you didn't represent us, that you are operating differently, so there is no reason for anyone to be alarmed that I am operating with you.
Some people are gonna not like it. Eventually you can convince people. The life we signed up for, essentially. Dare to be different, people will hate you for it.
All right. Is it an option to come break me out if things go wrong?
Sure. See how this all pans out. Goes bad. You'd already be guilty.
That's sort of what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
I was foolish. I mean, it's what has made us in this position.
I see it more as being in unfortunate places.
Well, I am glad it is not anything that you're too bothered by.
I've seen worse.
I'm sorry you have. All right.
I'll bring the others back, or
No.
you need
Yes, you can bring them back. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
resumes everybody.
I think that going through this and seeing what happens, and if the worst happens, then then maybe you can come help us.
At that point, it doesn't matter what people think anyway. It will be bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. Death, I had a thought, and I don't know if this is a burden to ask, but I hope it's not too bad, because it's all within sort of the same area. I had a letter from my parents a few months ago, but a part of me wonders, like, are they even there, or is something wrong on that end? They live in Rise. Do you think anyone might be able to swing by and just check and see if things look normal, or if there's something wrong there?
Potentially.
I'm trying to catch Alexander on an angle of anything. So I don't know.
See what can be done.
If it's too much trouble, then don't, but was the thought I had. Is there anything else we need to say? Especially, it's frozen here. We can talk for a moment. Without surveillance.
How on earth are we gonna get around some of those charges and stuff? Like, in terms of like, without outing Egan or Heidi. I mean, how are we supposed to do any of this? They know a lot. I don't know if there's a zone of truth, and if I'm not very good at talking my way in circles. I don't know. It's just gonna not go well for me.
I have to
What if I
lean
just
into
say
the
it?
truth.
What
We
do
were
you mean?
there. We were there. We didn't mean for this to happen.
But like, when it comes
not
to charges
how-
like the orb being stolen or whatever, it's like they ask questions about, or like, who are you working with? How did you get jobs? Like, what? I don't.
Well, now
Heidi's
they
the one
know.
that sent us jobs. We looked for our own. We bought an item. It's what we were involved with. You just speak to the truth and
Okay.
keep it as little as you can, as much as we can. But you're right. The more stuff they know, the more directed things that they ask. That's where
Yes. Well,
there's no lying in this instance.
And Winifred, please do not freak out, but you said that we know who stole it, so that's going to be brought
Yeah,
up in the trial now, I'm sure of it.
I know. I thought about that. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I forgot. There's so many different details. I'd forgotten why he was
So-
doing it for.
Well, we know in timeline 2 who stole it.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like, but I guess I only knew back then. We
It's
don't
Braun.
know.
Braun stole it. We knew it both times.
And this one as
Oh.
well.
Or
We
Braun
did
tried,
try to
yes.
catch him. We just couldn't. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was 100% confirmed beyond a reasonable doubt.
It was, he told us.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'd forgotten. I could have talked about it.
I guess I could
Um,
just say that a man we met on the road. I don't know.
An associate of the job that we met Egden with, that we escorted, he's the one that did that. We were not involved in the stealing.
I mean, we'll have to name him then.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Or
Try-
it's not relevant to this case. I mean, we can try.
Wait, I'm
This
sorry.
is
How do
this
we?
is part
Sorry.
of my question about if you want to be out now or later. Is potentially stuff will come out that you don't want to have come out. It can be prevented by getting you out right away.
Yes.
It's your choice. But it'll be real bad for you, most likely.
It would. I mean, I don't know how we could set foot anywhere or travel anywhere.
And we
here.
can't. The problem is we can't control when we end up back here. We can control if we leave, but we can't control when we come back yet. And then we wouldn't
Oh, like
maybe
we
have a
teleport
plan
somewhere.
yet.
I'd rather potentially gain an ally that believes that we're trying to do good here than gain enemies that we don't need to have.
So I have a random question. How do we know Braun? I forgot that in timeline 1. How do we know that he told us he stole the orb? I forgot how we knew that
I think it
In
this
told us.
timeline.
Yeah, you talked about
Yeah,
it again.
Idgen told us.
Oh,
Braun
sorry,
was
sorry.
traveling. Braun was traveling with us, and he was acting
We
super
were
sus,
sus.
and we were like, "What is
Yeah.
he doing?" And then,
Yeah.
we didn't really know why. And then he went to Idgen's inn, and then later, when Idgen showed
Mhm.
us his basement full of stuff, he had the orb in there, and we were like, "Oh!" And he's like, "Yeah, Vari didn't need one less type of thing."
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the stone thing
Okay.
happened. That's why I don't remember. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in timeline 2, Braun tried and failed to steal the orb, and then
Yes.
he was in jail.
So maybe Igden's not the best person to reach out to right now.
Yes.
Unless
Unless he
Maybe.
wants to come forward
Come
or
clean,
something
yeah.
about something. I mean, you could offer in a letter, I'm not sure how much will be wrangled into giving away. So if you want, I mean, I don't know. I don't want it to sound like a threat either, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say anything. There's sometimes I forget what we're supposed to say and what we're not, and I don't know. This is confusing.
all right, we'll just do what we can with it.
So, then wait till you're at the end, and then we can decide.
Yes. Will you be watching then, or how are you going to keep track?
I do still need to get those cufflinks, so maybe somebody else will be in attendance.
Oh, really? Wait. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting.
I can't personally get involved in it, but
Of course, yes.
someone else can.
All right.
I don't know why my brain buzzed out. I thought Death wanted someone's cufflinks from the trial, and that's why he was sending Lucy. And I was like, hold up. When did Death get so petty that he was like, look, we've been down this route before. This judge, I'm getting his cufflinks. I can break you out right now. We'll go get his cufflinks. Sorry, my brain just went.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back on board.
All right.
So, that's the
I
plan
think
then.
That sounds good. That's the plan.
Well, I guess I'll leave you to your legal defense.
Thank you. By the way, can I communicate with you on this? Oh no.
You have to have the notebook.
All right. It is purely the notebook. All right. Well, thank you very much, Death. You're a welcome sight.
Yeah. I'm hoping the best for all of you.
Thank you.
Best of luck in your upcoming trial. Hopefully you can prove your innocence. No extreme measures needed.
I hope so.
Begin to walk away. Dissipate to the fog. Time resumes for you once more. We're gonna take a break there. That's a good time to break.
God.
So we will be back shortly, everybody. So stick around. Thanks for showing up, everybody. We appreciate you being here. I'm so glad to see you all, and yeah, we'll be back real soon. So stick around. Hi everybody, we're back and ready to begin our second half as our players just had a visit from death while locked up in jail. Super fun time. And they are deciding how they want to handle their legal defense. If they want to hire a lawyer, if they want to seek that themselves. You guys all return back to regular time and make a decision.
Imagining it falls and Dad, one more question. Oh shoot. Like I mean
Dad.
what I
Later.
would say if you were here. Our deaths are coming up.
Isn't death come to claim us all at some point? And you try to get all like
To
introspective.
be or not to be. Oh my god, sorry.
So 5 minutes have passed eventually, and Justin Case comes down,
Just in
striding
case.
back over.
Got it.
Now you're getting it.
Didn't pick up on that one the first time.
It's so dumb. I love it so much.
He comes striding back over. So,
Wink.
I gave you some time to talk. Have you discussed what you want to do?
Yes. I think we would love to hire you if we could.
Wonderful. Glad to hear it. We can get started right away.
Do you know if there's a lawyer if there's points where there isn't surveillance, or is it always
Yeah.
surveillance? When
Now that you've hired me,
Just
we can
advised.
get a room and we can chat here and discuss some of this in private.
Perfect.
So, shall I notify the guard?
Yes.
Some contract signed.
What?
All right. So he'll head down. Oh, guard, and start walking down the hallway. He has like a clipboard that he has a contract on that he pulls out, and he says, "Just the paperwork, and to each of you to have an opportunity to sign it."
I wanna look
Definitely
at
gonna try and look at
I
it.
would
Yeah.
like to read it thoroughly. We
Sure.
all know that lesson.
You can roll
Yeah.
investigation if you'd like.
7. Woody's like, I don't know what these words mean. I don't know what's going on. Can't really do it.
15.
19.
24.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
So it's a lot of like legalese. It's not anything too crazy. There's nothing like outside the ordinary. The rate is 5 gold per person per day, and like a day essentially is when he's working for you guys. Outside other expenses like you'd have to pay for, like if you required him to buy something or whatever, he would charge you for that. That would be added to kind of a cumulative total, but the representation would be 5 gold per day.
Okay.
Mm.
Does it say if there's anything like if we run out of money, like what happens?
You'd have to pay it like a debt you'd owe.
I owe you. Okay, gotcha.
Does it say that like he is like we're required to use him through this contract for the duration, or like can we agree to cancel his services or refuse his services at any point?
Yeah, you could cancel.
Okay.
Like any expenses would still need to be paid up to that point, but
Correct. But like if we decided like we want to take this over ourselves, we could.
Yep.
That was kind of what she'd be looking for. Okay.
seems pretty standard to you.
Okay.
Come across magical at all?
Not from what you can see.
Cool.
I think I'd just glance across the way at Eleonora and see if she looks fine about it, and then I'll sign it if she looks fine.
Yeah,
Like,
she
know
like
each other.
she's definitely seems really familiar with like paperwork stuff, and
Right,
she's like
right.
looking through it and like looking like she's double checking a couple things.
Which I just did too, so I'm looking at you like
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get notation stickers? That's impressive.
ha!
I think this is solid, and I'll just sign it.
I will too.
To Dav and Winnie.
Yeah, signing as well.
I know with my left hand, so it's invalid. I'm just kidding.
Wonderful. We need to speak, so the guard was like, okay. And there's like another room nearby that he takes you into, and chairs they have set up. Justin will go take a seat and pull out like a notepad and start getting ready to write notes. All right, we can speak privately here. Let's get planning. First off, did you guys do it? I want to know, for my sake.
The answer is complicated.
Simplify it for me then.
All right. They were because of us, but not intentional by us.
We're trying to stop them desperately.
More of
So
They're victims.
Mishap. Yes. The mishap sickness almost is.
A mishap
affliction.
sickness.
yeah, we could. Whenever we do spells and things, I don't know, things go really wrong and they get really bad quickly, more than other people.
It's been progressing too. So the more we grow in our skills, the more the mishaps become dangerous. And when we began casting a lot of spells in one place, I think that's why mishap cracks started forming after that initial one. And when we die, the mishap crack forms. I was killed twice, obviously not of my own will.
We've
And
tried
it
to warn
happened.
people. We tried to warn Watchlight, actually.
We've tried to ask for help. It has been ignored.
And no, this is not a plea of insanity.
Okay. No insanity. Perfect.
Yes,
So what if we walked this back to none of you will use magic anymore?
Probably be a prison.
I
Sorry.
But also,
Okay.
even if we didn't use magic, if one of us died, I think it would just happen anyway. I don't think we could really help it.
well, here's the thing. I keep calling him Saul in my head. Oh, Justin. I call him Saul by accident. at one point,
Justin,
you know
baby,
it.
can we call you Sal?
Yeah. A few complications to this. One, my brother is trying to kill me. So, even if I don't have magic, I have nothing to defend myself. So, it might just keep happening anyway, especially if I get off and free to roam. The other thing is that I think that we may be the only ones that can aid in fixing this, which we are more than willing to do.
Actively
But
trying
that requires magic.
Yeah.
You are the heroes who have to save the plane from more cracks forming as this affliction, as you say, is hunting you down. You're the heroes of the story.
I mean, dramatically put, but essentially.
It's more of something like you'd put on for like a play or something, but yeah, I guess that's what's happening.
Well, I mean, we gotta sell something here. We can't just...
Right. I think the biggest thing that all of us feel is no one is happy. None four of us are not happy with what happened. No one wanted what happened in Heaven's Reach. All of us feel the responsibility of those deaths on us. No one wanted what happened at Shadow Rock.
Plus, the
But-
cracks happened before us. We just are getting wrapped up in making them worse.
Yes.
But there could be others out there that have the same affliction.
Yes.
Are you aware of any others?
North of
there
Midrock.
is- Yes. They're called the Exterminators.
Oh, I meant cracks, but yeah, them too.
Oh, sorry.
But there was a crack north of Midfort that formed without us even ever being there.
So these exterminators,
original one.
are they potentially culprits in this, or are they victims as well?
No, I mean, I don't even know if they actually have anything. They don't seem to have the same mishap affliction as we do, but they seem to be a bit more sensitive to it, I think. I don't want to convict them necessarily. I don't think they did anything, but they noticed a few cracks as well forming when they did magic. The only problem is that one of the clerics that works in the exterminators is one of his Maida. So I don't know how much they would be willing to help with the claim for me.
Why exactly?
Did he read notes, like the notes at all? Or?
He looks like he's got some, but he's not like fully up to speed.
Oh, sure. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if he'd prepped at all before he came back, or.
It's like 5 minutes. So.
Sure. I work with a deity named Death.
Oh yes, I saw that. Yes.
Yes. Everyone hates him, but
Does he
it's
seem
made a
bothered by that?
Sorry.
And what?
Does he seem bothered by that?
You can roll an insight.
Nat 20.
Another one.
Oh,
Okay,
girl!
27.
I got like a 19.
21.
He seems like he's clueless about who Death is.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting. All right.
Perfect.
It has something to do with dying, I guess, but
Yeah.
Don't judge
So-
by the name. That's what I always say. So.
So I don't know if that would be a potential, or if they have some sort of written statement. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure. I don't know how this works.
So you don't want to bring these exterminators into this.
we could, but we're just worried about the connection. I mean, if we bring one of them and not all of them, or if they're willing to write something on our behalfs, we don't want to necessarily involve them as accomplices or anything, but just as witnesses to what we've seen.
I see you're being accused of taking souls. Have you taken souls?
You said that this is just private between us.
Yes.
Sure. I've taken 2.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. Really fast. Is this so? Sorry, really quickly. Before you said this is a private interaction, but I thought they said before the jail's always being like listened to and stuff. So is it? Do we know that all monitoring is like gone off?
It is
now?
off,
Here
right?
you can't.
Like,
Here you're
yeah.
just talking to me.
Okay.
And-
okay.
and
Sorry,
and
just
the
making sure.
and the representative doesn't get a zone of truth. Like, they don't have to like answer questions about the privacy part, right?
But what?
They're not bound by perjury if they
Like a
don't
lawyer?
answer.
No.
Yeah,
I,
like,
Because
I mean,
they're on stand.
you have
yeah.
confidentiality with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. All right.
Sorry, making sure.
Lawyer-client privilege and all. You know.
Yes. I mean, they too, but
All right.
I was. So
Were they bad guys?
yes.
They were brutes.
Okay. We might be able to work that down.
Because the way that Death functions, as opposed to how he used to, capturing souls of the abhorrent. That's it. So
In a way, it's no different than how sometimes those that are out on jobs, when they're having to deal with situations of life and death and self-defense, deaths happen. She's not seeking them out. But when a death is going to occur,
I see you're accused of attacking guards at your family home. Was that something you would you classify as adventuring life?
That was to get my son.
Yes, the kidnapping charge.
Yes.
Remember, did we try and do those non-lethally? I'm trying to remember. At least on the way in. No,
It was pretty.
I
It
couldn't
was
remember.
pretty quick and brutal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Mm-hmm.
I didn't think so, but I just couldn't remember.
I'm convinced that much of the what's going on in Shadow Rock has to do with a group called the Grave Robbers. And they are a group that worships Ladius, we think. They're doing many horrid things in the desert. And she can just give a quick rundown. We don't have to roleplay the whole thing unless you want to.
He'll just be like, great. Do you have evidence of that?
The person that might have confirmed it is dead.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Speak with
the
that.
one
There's
thing-
spells. Can we get access to that potentially?
The mishap crack consumed him, unfortunately.
All right. Don't worry. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out.
There is someone that is the grandfather of this man. He's the leader of the Grit. I haven't been able to contact him, but if I lay out the things that we found out and that I connected with his grandson, I think he could confirm at least a lot of the similarities of the activities that I have witnessed.
That brings up a good point. Do you know who you want to contact? I mean, you each have one form of contact you can use. Do you know who you want to reach out to?
And just
Like
slide
reach
my
out to
coin to Eleanor. Whatever you want.
Go ahead, Wyndham.
I just was going to reach out to a former teacher of mine just because we had told him about our mishap problem, and he might be able to recruit somebody who we also told about it, who is a expert in mishaps at the university. So that would be a good idea.
Yes, and he looks
But
at the
she
note.
did-
Yes, Lakeside Institute, I see. Okay, yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
That.
another one of your charges. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't steal that thing.
We did not do that, no.
We didn't steal it. No.
Honestly.
Honestly.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, we know the person that did, and it was mentioned.
Well, great. Turn him in.
They are associated.
He's sort of
with
a.
us.
Yeah. Someone we don't feel comfortable turning in, I guess. But.
Yeah, okay.
They did it without our
But also,
awareness
we
at the
only.
time.
I guess all we really. I mean, we didn't see him steal it or anything. We didn't. I don't know. I'm not sure if we can
To
get
be
around
said-
that at all.
To be fair, it's a lot of hearsay because it's not firsthand knowledge. It's
No.
from someone that.
We just. He's in jail. He's in jail in our place. I mean, he's in.
Well,
Unless they show up, there's no one that can give firsthand knowledge to that person actually being the one that stole it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say. I mean, I don't want to throw Braun under the bus, but we may be. I mean, if this is already an accusation, we may be cornered into giving something away. I would assume. I'm kind of looking at Justin.
Oh, you finished the sentence?
Yeah, she's saying, if already they're kind of onto this whole orb thing, we would probably be cornered into giving something away, I'm assuming.
Well, you all have a lot of heat on you. And
Yes.
it's either going to be on you or someone else. So, if we can divert it from you, that would be ideal. If you cannot, then you will probably remain those who are going to be getting the heat for it. So, I guess it depends on, do you want it to be spun in a way that is, you are doing it for some good reason, or circumstances forced you to do it, or do you want to give somebody up?
The problem is we may not get Vari on our side if we take that claim.
That's true. We'll explain Vari to him too, unless you want to roleplay it.
That's fine.
So she could be an ally, but and collaborate some of our statements. But the problem is we already owe her a lot of money, and we lost the thing she made us. So I'm not sure if she will even come to bat for us in the first place.
Or we shouldn't ask at all.
What?
Or we should even ask.
Right.
It'd make her mad.
All right. So we have one. You said your teacher. What about the rest of you? Guess you have two now.
Oh yes, I would like to contact the person from the grit. I probably would need to include another feather token for a written statement back or something, because they're very much out in the middle of nowhere.
I had already slid mine over to you.
Oh, that's what you did. Sorry, I couldn't. I think people.
Yeah, we both talked. That's fine.
Okay. You don't have anyone you want to write, Davro?
I'd have you write them anyway, but
True.
or at least combined written if we could do that.
I mean, Heidi, we could ask her.
I'm willing to do that if we want. With mine. And we could ask about Calvin potentially at the start of all of this. As far as proving the mishap affliction, it might be better to just start at the beginning.
Just refreshing myself because we're going through a lot. Did we tell Justin about timeline 2?
No.
We said okay, we're not breaching that.
I mean, we can. We just haven't yet.
Okay. Are we going to try and talk about what happens with the crack? We've already talked about us traveling.
We have to.
Yes, Justin, are you ready to hear something that sounds completely insane?
You can travel through the cracks?
Oh, more than that. Are you ready?
Sure. Lay it on me.
There is a copy of this world within the cracks that we travel to, with different things happening there.
Can you roll me a persuasion roll, Eleanor?
Yeah. Oh, girl, I love you. 19 plus 10, so 29.
Nice.
Nice. So good.
Any proof of this?
We have various information that we'd only have from there that we wouldn't have been able to get from here. We have sketches and very few items, but they would have to be corroborated by someone that didn't know they gave it to us or who's dead in this timeline.
So, like, I have a lighter of an investigator named Edison, but he was killed in the mishap crack. But the other
He's
Edison
alive
gave
over
it
there.
to us. Yes.
No body again.
Nope.
Okay.
No body, yes.
We saw our own bodies there. Again, they're over there.
I mean, yes, a lot of it is just our word, unfortunately. We have a lot of knowledge about Hunric Stevens, which was the person whose tower blew up to begin this whole mishap crack in the first place. He's alive in the other place.
Over there.
We have a prayer book from a priestess of Domine of Heaven's Reach in that timeline.
Someone that I actually talked to when I became a cleric of Domine, but not here. So I don't know. how that would help though, because I don't really have any personal information about her that she could like back up. But
The case that Edison was working on here, we've continued that work in the other timeline and have more
With him.
information. With that Edison.
yeah,
I mean, if Bari has gotten knowledgeable about how to detect between the frequencies of these realms, or if someone else could, they could verify some of these items, but I don't know the way to do that.
So how can we sweeten the deal to get this Bari to help you?
Do you have a dragon egg?
Do I have a
She
dragon?
wants a
No, I
dragon.
do not have a dragon egg.
That's what she wants.
Yeah. I'm just telling her proof of what her theory said.
or maybe I don't know if she wants us to do some research for her in the other place or something. Something that we can do. I don't know. Trying to think of something valuable to her that's not killing a dragon.
Your speak with dead question actually had me thinking, and I kind of look at Eleonora. If there was anything or anyone we could talk to, do you think they'd have any insight into what they see with their souls after death?
What? Where? In the second timeline? What?
I mean, that was the second timeline where you felt yourself being pulled,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Okay.
We'd have to cast it there. It doesn't really. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
this
it
doesn't
works
help
the
us
same.
right now.
I don't
With-
know how the
when it
magic works. I'm not personally gifted in that, but
Yeah. As
Vari, I don't know what Vari. I mean, honestly, if we did turn in Brahm,
That's my thought. Unfortunately,
that would help her. But then we screw over that whole thing. Unless there's a way we can write Idgin to warn him that the truth may come out because we're caught. I don't know. Are the letters monitored at all? Do you know? The feather tokens?
I don't think the content necessarily.
if we're gonna go that route, I'd like to ask them to come here to talk to us with our lawyer here, so we can be upfront on what's gonna happen.
So, and I'll just explain to him who Idgin is.
Okay.
He could be like a reference, but I mean, it would also condemn him, I think. So I'm not sure.
Again, you going to pass blame to other people, bring down others, or are you going to take it on yourself?
Yes.
I don't think we're shying away from our responsibilities here.
But taking on something that we didn't do, though, I think is because that's what the
Right.
orb would be. We didn't do that.
Right.
That is
So-
true.
I'm not even saying I want to do it, but you know, he has a point.
We have to consider the options. Yeah.
And if we don't, that zone of truth, we would be lying, and it would be obvious.
But
we're
we
lying.
wouldn't be lying if we told them it wasn't us, and that's not relevant to the case who it was.
The problem is it's part of the charges, so it is relevant until there's a verdict given.
I mean, is it? We're
What
not
if
being
it said-
being charged for stealing it. They're just saying it got stolen the same day that we left.
So they are charging us for stealing it. And Winifred said, in the cell, we know who stole it.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
that's going to come up
It's
now. They're
part of
going
it
to ask
now.
us directly.
Well, I guess-
So
I can just say we stole. I mean, I guess you know who stole in timeline 2. I guess the other place someone's in jail for it. I'll just say I know someone's in jail for it. In the other place, I thought maybe that I could
Sure.
put it here.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how.
Someone-
Do you know who the prosecution is?
You're talking about Brana Krej?
Yes.
Yeah, she works for the Watchlight.
Oh, I see.
I think very motivated to try and bring justice for all of her fallen coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. How much do you think she would press with things then? Is she pointed and specific?
She's pretty serious. No nonsense. So
So,
she probably will be going for the highest sentence for all of you.
yes. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the idea, Winifred, of saying we saw it in the timeline too, that Braun tried to do it and failed. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. We're going to be cornered into it, and if we
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
no, stop. Hey, Winifred,
Well,
it's over. All right,
that's
it's all
what-
right. I like hold your
Okay.
hands. I'm like, it's all right.
Uh,
It's all right.
I guess
just
that's
have
where
to
I'm
work.
coming from. Is if we get Vari's, if she's willing to testify with us and say that the timing doesn't make sense for us to do it. We have a
Right.
witness saying we wasn't us. It doesn't matter who then stole it. If we have a witness collaborating that this charge is not us,
Sure.
that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is like the charge is that we stole it,
Oh,
not
trying to drop
that
it.
we're like all of this has nothing to do with the orb being stolen. It's just that we didn't do it. That's what we have to prove. Not.
Sure.
I mean, I get it's easier to spin it off on someone else, but I mean,
I'm not even saying that is what I want, but I'm saying it will
Right.
probably go that direction. So what are we going to do when we're trapped in a corner?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, exactly what I just said. I mean, I personally don't feel like it's our responsibility to prove someone else guilty while we're trying to defend ourselves. But
Mm-hmm.
But if they ask me a yes or no question, I'm in zone of truth. What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
you do know, or you think, but that has nothing. You don't feel like that's relevant to this case.
How much is that going to hold up, Saul? Saul, I see I did it! I already did it. Dang it,
I
Justin.
was waiting for
I
it.
had to like put a sticky note that says Justin on my thing.
Interesting.
And I do know I'm being naive with that. We owe a lot to them.
I know we do. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want that either, but that's the reality is where we're sitting.
I just know I've been. No, I just know we've been trying to salvage that relationship.
I know. That's why I said maybe if we write him and on him that we are going to try our best to keep him
I
shielded.
mean, if we can get both Vari and Egden here to be somewhat of character witnesses, he is aware that someone stole it. It is not them. It has nothing to do with this case. I don't know, or we can spin it in a different way. I don't know. Or if he returns it, this was given to me in a job that was a mistake of ownership. I don't know. I mean, like, I really don't know how it could be spun in a different way, but
And I think we need to get to the bigger picture here. That's a small charge of potentially something was stolen. Many people have died.
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
figure out how we're
Yeah.
going to prevent that.
I think that's what I was trying to get to. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, with the second timeline, Hunric Stevens has a set of rituals that he has prepared to try and fix the flow of magic. We were tasked to go and get some rare components for him to complete these rituals. He is an expert in ancient magic, and he was an expert in studying the mishaps themselves.
Let me guess. He's also dead and got consumed
Yes.
by a crack.
Yes.
Awesome. Wonderful.
But my point though is we are the only ones that can travel back to a place where he is alive.
Take them to him.
I also
So-
believe this could be the catalyst point of the two timelines, or one of them.
It's connected somehow, and we don't know exactly how yet. But we think that if he can start to fix the flow of magic from there, it will start to fix the plane here.
So we try and persuade them to let you work from imprisonment. Like, you get to still do your job while being locked up, but not actually locked up.
Or like monitored or something.
Something.
And they would be able to. I mean, they'd see what we're talking about if we did get monitored.
I mean, something like that, yes, to let us fix it if...
We do want to fix it. We tried to get Watchlight's eyes on it early on, and we were somewhat dismissed.
It was their
I know.
fault.
A bit. I mean, if we would have gotten help early, we even tried to warn them at some
progressing.
point.
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
We even know of someone that threatened Eleonora for the Shadow Rock stuff. So they're
Well,
aware
even-
of things going on.
well, and even with Perciva and Alexander, I warned them, do not kill me or any of us because it will rip Shadow Rock apart. And they did it anyway. So.
I kind of put up my hand just to like cover it from Justin and like look at you, Eleonora, and just mouth Julian. Like, are we bringing that up or not?
I can bring it up.
It's one way of spinning why we went to Shadow Rock is for a noble cause. That's all I'm saying. Not spinning, truth.
This-
It is.
Well, if we're trying to walk back from being imprisoned, for all of you, we could attempt the whole you want to help. What if, instead of getting locked away in an imprisonment spell, you get studied or things are looked at for competent wizards who can keep you in one spot to watch you and see if they can figure out how to fix things.
I mean, I was even thinking about that. If you guys, what if we use a token to reach out to Strassum and say your plane's in danger, and we can help you try and save it if he'd be able to override anything. But
Do you know
Not the worst
Sastro?
idea if you... We do not know.
not personally,
Maybe it wouldn't
That would
reach
be a
him
bit of
though,
a,
'cause-
but
Yes.
I mean, if we can claim certain things that we shouldn't know,
Oh no, I'm saying, would he have protections for getting a feather token from a random person?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm saying, Gabriel.
you wouldn't be able to put an official letter through Watchlight to send to him.
I can certainly attempt to do something to get it to him. Just saying your feather tokens might not work. That
Yeah.
way.
Oh,
That's more or less what I was going with.
I don't
figured
mind
out.
that angle either. I think that's fine.
I
Well,
still wonder
would
if
it-
that's equivalent of being judged, but okay.
If the being studied, I don't think any of us mind. The problem is that
The duration. will be-
the duration, because the longer this goes on, the worse it will get. And
other things in motion.
yes,
So you don't want that then?
I mean, it would just depend on how long they were thinking of that happening, or if there's a way that there can be stages of it.
How can we prove what you're saying is true and that you're not just using this as your defense? Saying, we're innocent. We didn't do it.
Yes. Well, I mean, we could all describe Hunric Stevens' tower and his mannerisms and his theories and his and his ways of study in great detail.
And even what he,
and
even what he
we've never
wants.
met here.
Yeah, even what he wants to potentially help with, things that components that I don't know, we wouldn't know about otherwise, that he wanted to help study this stuff.
He well known? I don't know who he is personally. But...
I don't think many people have been there, but the
Or the Watchlight would be.
exterminators. Well, yes, and the exterminators did work with him. They were his bodyguards.
The question is, could that be something that you would just know, not through
anyone would
travels?
Oh, I see. I feel like everyone we've talked to had no idea what he was doing in there.
And the exterminators would be able to confirm that the things that we could talk about in accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
There's also guards in Heaven's Reach that we helped fight, creatures that came from the crack.
Yes, we did save their lives.
If we were trying to get away with it, I don't think we'd try and stop them from attacking them.
Do you have no control over the cracks or the things that come out of it or anything?
No, nothing.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
Right.
Which is why we fight them. I mean, when we came back a few days ago, another crack had formed and creatures were pursuing us out of it. I mean, they're trying to kill us too.
All right.
There's a farmer that can testify to those monsters.
Is that crack as well?
Well, seems like you think this Vari is the best option for understanding what might be happening with you. So maybe that's our first attempt, is to get her on your side. We'll want to work quick because I heard that the judge wants this over and done with as fast as possible. Attempt to persuade her to you.
Yes,
All right.
I think that works.
We're gonna try and reach out to our friends in the desert as well.
I can use the feather token for that. Yes, unless you had another idea, but
I think those two things would be a good first start.
Do we
and
want to
Ernest, I
also-
think if you want
Yeah.
just someone that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how many people we should reach out to, or if we need to save some of those feather tokens, or
That's what I'm wondering.
Maybe we wait on that one to decide afterwards. I mean, I like Ernest, but at what does his witness help us excuse a charge for in this matter?
I was thinking more he could just help convince Vari to maybe, like, he could be a help with that. And see
Which-
where
That I
she's
agree
at.
with, yeah.
We
yeah.
could.
I think
yes.
that might be.
Well, and I mean, he seemed to understand that we had the best intentions. I think any sort of witness that
That's a good point, yeah.
knows us and knows that we aren't trying to do this nefariously, we never would. I mean, I'm sure he would never dream that you would do something like that on purpose.
And again, we told him it'd be at least a witness to, again, corroborate the fact that, like, we have this affliction, we are suffering from it a long time ago. It's only progressed since then. So it's somebody else that we told that,
Mm-hmm.
that's,
Early
So
on,
I just
saw the
like-
symptoms.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it'd be someone, I guess. So it's 3 people.
Say the only thing we're truly guilty of is maybe not turning ourselves in quicker to be helped.
Although, I mean, I think that's still, I mean, Alexander is trying to stop me and kill me.
I'm just saying that's a way to spin it, is all I'm saying, too.
Yes. I see.
That we are sick to this.
We're
We're victims of this. We're just
we're
trying
being
to
hunted by
survive.
assassins. Yeah, we're just trying to like make it. So that kind of.
Another thing that you could, I don't know if this, if you're able to get this sort of information, Justin, but when, I don't know if the Watchlight was trying to scry my location when I became wanted, but if they were, they would know that there would be times where I'm disappearing entirely and not being able to be scried at all. And that would line up with the timeline that we have of when we were in the other place.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, I could have put on a anti-scry
Anti-divination.
device, but why in the world would I ever take it off at that point?
We also don't have one on us.
Yes,
they
we
would
don't
found,
have one at
so-
all.
Right. See about getting that.
So that might at least help a bit.
Well, why don't you write your letters, get those out, and I can get to work looking at a log of scrying on you and getting in contact with Astrum, other parts of your defense, research some things that are here.
Sure. Are you focused mostly on the four of us for now? I think I heard I had separate charges.
Yes, I'm focused on your case.
Oh, no, I just mean I had something else to say, but if you were focused on this first, I don't even know how the order of things are going to go or anything like that.
Case?
I just had one more thing to say, but if it was
Go
too
ahead,
much, I was
say it.
going to wait. All right. One of the charges is kidnapping.
Yes.
So, that is my son.
Yes.
I saved him from my brother. So, I do not intend to give any location of where he is. Unless I see some sort of leaning towards they might believe me. Or be able to investigate into Alexander. But if I continue to be the villain, he will not take the fall for this. Unless you can think of some alternative way to spin it or something. But
Unless he can verify what's happening to Alexander.
I don't think he can, though. He barely saw anything.
It didn't sound like
He was like
he
kept
did.
in a room, basically. Yeah.
He saw what he did to you.
But their excuse has even been that he's just been training, he has new powers. I mean, they had an excuse for that beforehand. I don't think Julian knows anything new at all. Or something they didn't even cover.
I don't know if any of us know how much he overheard. Didn't he like eavesdrop on us? But I don't think Winnie and I know that.
He didn't. Yeah, he eavesdropped on Eleanor and Lucy and Effie.
I don't think we know that then.
I'm not sure how that would be relevant anyway. Unless you're...
Because he does know what's going on with you. That's what I'm saying. And if he can and willing to say that you are the one that saved him. He's a first-hand witness to
Yes.
a child is being neglected and abused by one party that is not his brother. It's an entity controlling him. His pictures.
His pictures?
Well, drawings of things, right?
No.
Are there drawings here, or is it your dream? Was it in your dream?
That
That
was
was
my
the drawing.
dream.
It was in your dream.
Okay, I'll just say out of
There's a
character.
lot of going around.
It's
Okay, I'll just say out of character. Like Julian only saw this. Julian was in a pretty I mean he was
Yeah.
ignored. He
Yeah.
was taken care of. He was
Right.
like educated still. You know, he was just lonely.
But he saw the
And-
fight. He saw you lift you up into the ceiling.
Yeah, but Eleanor's point was that like even when Alexander was doing that to her, and she was like to Perciva, she was like, "What? Even where did he get these powers?" And she's like, "Well, he's just been training because he's."
He's still a bad person by doing it. I don't know. That's what I'm just saying. That's where I'm coming from. Is if you
Yeah.
wanted to ask Julian to be a character
Yeah.
witness,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best idea. I'm just putting that out there as Dev. So yeah, if you don't want to do
Yeah.
that, 100%, I'm with you. I don't think that's
Yeah.
the best option. Dav's just throwing things out there to try and help
Right. Sure.
our defense.
Yeah, so she'll just say, I just don't think he knows. If he saw more, maybe, but I just don't think he has seen enough to be able to give any sort of definitive proof.
Okay.
I thought at one point to maybe try and see if any memory modification happened to him, but I didn't, so I don't know that for the moment. I know it will look bad, Justin, but I don't know how I can possibly risk it. I mean, it's his safety and his life on the line.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Must keep your child safe.
I know there's elements in Watchlight that could be tricked by them or whatever. So yeah.
Well, at least we have a start. See what we can do.
What's his confidence level now?
I was wondering
You
that
can roll an
too.
insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, P took on our case.
Dirty 20.
I rolled bad.
22.
He seems like he's trying to look optimistic, but there's a lot of kind of like, who are these people that I just am working with?
What
Fair.
did I just walk into?
Fair.
Worst clients ever.
He's
Are you
always like
sure
that.
please he's off the table?
They're just like insane. Okay. Wait, so sorry, I am using my token to talk to Ernest right now, or I'm waiting. I forgot. I don't know what we said. We said both things.
You could do Ernest if you want.
I think it sounds like we want to move forward with Vari and Ernest, yeah.
And
Okay,
do we
cool.
need to save mine, or should I use it to contact Heidi?
I like the Heidi and Calvin play as well.
Yeah, I say like do it, and if we need to buy more, we can, I guess. But should at least be somebody if she wants to come out.
So now we have 3 things in motion at least.
So, just for my reference too, if I submit the defense that you are victims here, was it accurate to say you are willing to submit to them to take you to a place for testing? Or is that something you do not want?
Or I don't know what you mean by that, though.
To test our mishap affliction, you mean?
Well, you're claiming something that's pretty extraordinary. And you're claiming you have no control over it, and hundreds of people have died as a result of it.
I mean, if they think we're a threat, they're either going to imprison us or try and fix us or
Yeah.
understand what's happening to us.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
what outcome do you want from that? Because there is a threat there with all
Yes.
4 of you.
I'd be open for that as an alternative to this imprisonment.
I
I'd
think
be-
as long as it is with the intent that we can get out to help. You know, this is not a permanent placement. Because if we just are there the whole time, the plane will continue to get worse.
It's also how we prove we're innocent.
Oh, yes, because it just keeps happening. Yes.
It won't be permanent.
Yeah, I'd be thinking. And tested.
All right.
Tested
know.
with the intent to help us get out.
Help the realm as much as
And
we
help,
can.
I mean, yes.
All right. Well, anything else I should know before I go? Start working on this.
Let me look.
Just speaking for myself with you guys, are we going forward with we're accepting responsibility that we are involved with death, and we are not the death of people, sorry, and we wish it didn't happen, but we are, like you said, continuing to go that we did not control it. Like, is that we're okay admitting that?
We didn't control it.
That's what I'm saying. But like, we are involved with it, and we regret that anyone has
Well,
died because of it. But it's not because
when I
we
said-
did anything.
Well, yes, when I said innocent, we are innocent of the malicious crimes. It
The
happened
intent.
to us.
Just depends on
Yeah.
how they spin that. That's all. You can be manslaughter and accidentally kill someone. So I don't know how they define that.
I mean, I don't know either. If we need to change it, then we change it. But
That's why I'm bringing it up and saying, if we come from the perspective of we understand this is a malicious this is something that's happening to us, and we understand that when we die, this crack happened. We're not just claiming full ignorance of it, but we're trying to avoid it, and that's why we were doing what we were doing. And we can, if we're willing to be tested, we go forward with that admission. That's the truth, and I would think that would, go more to just trying to say we're not responsible for any of it.
Justin, do you have a thought on what would be more strategic to
Yeah.
spin it?
I'll have to think about it.
I trust your take on it.
I mean, I think either way. I mean, it's just sort of a strange in between is where we land on it, really. So
I just hope
the other
if
part of
God.
the other part of wanting our, I guess, freedom at some point to be mobile is that there is still resolution that needs to happen on the case I was involved in with Watchlight, and there are people at stake with that if things are not
Yes.
resolved in a timely fashion. I'm happy to speak with somebody and give them what I know.
Mhm.
But that's the other part of this is the longer that we are here unable to do that work, there's more people we're trying to save.
So, if we maybe said you four will be willing to submit for testing until your risk to the world is fixed.
Mitigated, yeah.
Upon which you would be released back into the public. Is that agreeable?
Yeah, I would say probably mitigated rather than fixed. I don't know if this can be fixed.
Unless we're
Maybe
able to
not.
move back and forth, because some of it is going to require getting back to Hunric.
Well, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is, like, there's a way we probably do need to be free at some point to fix things.
So that they can understand that we're trying to be an ally of this, not fugitives.
Yes.
Whether that means they
want-
fix us or not, yeah.
We want to work with everyone to try and fix
Mhm.
this. We didn't want to do this on our own in the first place.
I do think we're willing to submit to testing and research.
But just the length of time or never going back will be problematic, I think.
It's going to cause more problems, I think, for sure, the way things have been going.
I don't know how much leverage we have on that at the moment, but yeah.
That is my
Like
big
your-
concern. Is I don't know what testing would mean to them if we offer that up. I don't know the duration
Yeah.
that would. I don't know what that would involve
That's
for you.
my concern.
It might
too.
be just as bad as imprisonment.
That's true.
That's also my concern.
So would it be we'd want to aim more for monitoring then? Like helping fix things, but
Well, we need to convince them that you're not a threat for
Yep.
that to be the case.
yes.
Any ideas on that one?
Well, they might still be in the city actually, but the people that captured me a few days ago, Gav and his band, I think they're with the Moon Shield.
And God,
Moon God,
Moon
thank
Guard.
you.
the cool name.
When there was a point where we resisted arrest or capture because, as I said, people have been trying to kill me for quite a bit. No one has believed me thus far. So, but when it was clear that they were going to win, and a death may occur between my companions, I immediately surrendered.
We surrendered.
Not only that, but when they just took me, and when and the three could have just gone on and done their own thing, and walked free, but we all knew the risk of what another mishap crack would be, so they were willing to come with me and turn themselves in so that this would not happen again.
And one way of kind of proving that is if they are willing to let us show them how mishaps happen, and that the only way we could even make a crack occur would be our death.
Well, or a bunch of magic that has happened too.
Well, to the size of killing people, I don't think
Yes,
is
the
just
big
a
one.
simple mishap. Yeah.
But
We'll have to think about what would be best for you, what would be acceptable for them. Somebody's gonna pay for something. Somebody needs to answer for what happened. Try to make it not you. All right, Kelly, you got a bless. Everyone has a bless. We are full up on everything.
So blessed.
I mean, the grave robbers are the ones that killed us.
it is the grave robbers, yes.
Really, their actions are what directly led to the crack in Heaven's Reach.
Both of them, yes. Mhm.
We asked them not to too. We were trying to tell them. Oh, dear.
There's your spin.
Work on that.
Oh, it's a raid.
Hello, Raiders. How are you
Forgot
doing?
we had a jail emote.
Sorry. You do a jail emote, that's fun. Welcome in the Raiders. Good to see you all. Grimquest, thanks for the raid. Appreciate you showing up here. Let's bring them in as our party's ready for trial. Getting ready for a D&D party facing charges for their actions. So we'll see how that goes.
Do you all think the exterminators are something to collaborate with then? I mean, I know she worships death. I mean, she worships Ismeda, but I'm not sure.
If Death's already like on the out and about, I say why not? I don't know. If they already know a lot, so
I just don't know if that would change how they talk or written statements.
I think that relationship speaks a lot to the timing of things and what's going on.
and who knows too? Maybe their thing has been getting worse too. Maybe they've been feeling it more.
They were also, you know, I mean, they're the closest to Stevens. I think that might be
they were
one of our only
yes.
confirmations.
It's not like we're
he was
sitting
working
here.
on.
It's not like we're sitting here blaming Elatus. It's not a direct rivalry right now.
Well, do you know, Justin, if it is well known of my association with death now? Like, if do people talk about it, or if we ask them to just submit a letter talking about the mishap specifically, and Hunrich's tower and things like that as like evidence, and you know, would it be a contained thing, or does it seem like it might get a little messy?
So, I mean, you four have been wanted for a couple weeks now. Word has gotten around about who you are, people what to look out for. So, I'm not sure on everything everyone knows. Probably would depend. Like somebody out in the middle of the desert might not hear as much as somebody in the middle of a city. You never know. But
What do you know what Ward sort of says about myself?
the general sentiment towards you guys is pretty negative.
Yes. Specifically, do you know if anyone's talking about an affiliation with death with me?
I haven't heard of it personally, but with things that have come out now, I'm sure it would spread.
Okay.
Are there like newspaper reporters or people like that in that courtroom today? Was this public?
This has become public, yes. People know about things.
So like public people can sit in and listen to the details as they're being talked and then report to them?
Yes.
I think that answers your question, Eleanor.
I don't know if... Oh my goodness.
If they're gonna send someone from their temple, they're gonna do it. I don't think it's necessarily gonna be the exterminators or not.
Yeah, sorry, my brain's trying to mush. Out of character, I think Eleanor is saying that she's worried that if we ask the exterminators to give a testimony, they will make it worse. But maybe that's a weird fear. I don't know.
I don't see how they make it worse at this point, but yeah. I mean, are you claiming yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if they're testifying and we're speaking under like truth, you know, I mean, then one of us is lying, but if we're under truth saying things about Stevens, then
And like the only thing they really could like get you on is just knowing that you follow death, right? Like, is that the only thing that would really be?
Well,
What are
yes,
you worried about?
yes, I think I'm just worried that, you know, she's going to feel very strongly about it, which means it might affect how they give a testimony, or even if they say, oh yes, they must be malicious then, like they did this on purpose.
But
and it makes us look
flip
worse
side.
instead of better.
Flip side, coming from someone who hates you and is against you, but they can also confirm the facts, that might be sort of a credible thing where it's like she has no reason to lie for you at all, but she can also confirm, or like, you know, they don't as a group, but they also can confirm what we're saying. I don't know. It's risky either way, but I think it could be worth the risk potentially. I don't know.
yeah.
As I was going to say, if the relationship of you and death is public, that means anyone from Ladies' Temple could show up and do the same thing. But you have...
Yes.
Asmeda, sorry. My bad.
That'd be crazy.
You don't
Yeah,
want an
sorry.
Eladius to show up.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I can
We're
just
not
give
cutting
you
your
that's me. That's Michael, yeah. But in that case, you, like they said, you have a witness to 10 other things. Unless there's something else that you're specific that you're worried about she could bring up that hasn't been brought up.
Yes.
Her biasness of hatred is just not a factor here. If anything, it's like they said, it's helpful. We're not asking her to be a character witness to you. We're asking her to confirm facts.
So, why don't
Yes.
you think about who you're gonna send your tokens to? Get those out as soon as possible. I could see the judge wanting to have at least you for giving your testimonies soon, and hopefully we can get others in to try and soothe things after that point.
All right. We may need another one potentially.
Another coin.
Maybe.
Perhaps I can find some people who I can scrounge up some coin and who might be sympathetic to your cause and see what we can do.
There's always someone that wants to free the prisoner. There's always someone that, you know,
There always
on the
is.
side of that.
I got a pot of 19 gold that I can probably throw your way already.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Thank you.
So
The 19 different people that are protesting to free us, or
I don't know how much individually was given by each, but 19
sure,
gold I could offer for your
it's
for your
pretty
cause.
impressive.
Oh,
Wow.
yes, thank you. Out of character, she would never say it's in character, so I can't even disguise it as a joke. But you know how it's like when the people in prison are like super hot, like more
Yeah.
people are like into them, and I'm like, we're all kind of hot, so like there's gotta
There you go.
there's gotta be
Like,
people
right.
being like, I love these guys.
Free them.
Free
They're
them.
innocent.
It's actually funny because
Give it
I know
up.
we kept saying Wanda for this prosecutor, but I keep thinking about the prosecutor from Making a Murderer, and she's like really popular on all the TV too. So
Oh.
that's how I have in my head for some reason. This one, she was not liked by a lot of people. Yeah.
I'll get started. I can maybe bring in another one if you need it.
Sure. Yes.
I will have to take some from your funds because it won't cover the full cost, but
That is all right. Thank you very much.
right.
In the items we have, if we start to run out of money, there should be a stone orb we might be able to sell for some extra money for my stuff, if need be.
Good to know.
Thank you, Justin, for your help.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Of course.
thank you.
Thing you chose me as your lawyer. Get some
Good
justice.
Luck. Thank you. Good luck.
Just
thank
in
you for
time.
everything, I'm sure you're.
Justice in this case, for sure.
Justice, just in time, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, advertise that.
Yeah. Great slogan.
Put your face up somewhere on a wall or something.
Benches.
A mural.
Everywhere all over town. Yeah.
I like it.
Radio ads or something.
All right. Well, I'll get to work.
Thank
Again,
you.
get your letters out right away. Sooner the better. And we can get the ball rolling.
Oh, were you contacting Vari or were we?
You were doing that, right? With your token?
Oh, all right. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure everything was split up the right way.
I am looking for Stastrom contact, the log from
Yes.
the watch light on scrying, and how to figure out maybe a way to have you be tested but not imprisoned.
Yes. Also, we did save someone's life in Lakeside, if that helps you any. There's an option you want to pursue there.
Oh,
to know.
yeah, they said that we didn't do the job. We didn't know we didn't do the job. We thought we did. Again, ignorance, not.
I just given the
intention.
name of like the lady that we saved her life if he wanted something,
Okay.
if he wanted to do something with that.
Sounds good.
Who's
Um,
Susanna?
Yeah, Susanna. I
Oh,
just want to make sure
Susanna.
if there's anything else. Yeah.
And we did give him Milo's name, right? The farmer.
Mhm.
In case that'd be another character witness plus the cracks. But the cracks were there before we, not like we caused it.
Euphemia, did you want to do anyone that you know?
I can. I just didn't know what we should start with. I think.
Yes.
I mean, I could have Electa also contact my dad if I spoke with her. She could also. I've sent her a few updates about the case and other things, so
Yes.
we could do that if we wanted to spend the money on another token. She doesn't know any of you. It would just be for me.
I think that is probably anything we can get at this point.
Okay.
So, if we could have 2, if you need to take some from our funds.
You want 2 other tokens?
I think so, yes. If you think character witnesses at all are going to influence things, if you don't think so, then we won't do it, but
Anything could help at this point.
yes. So I think we should then.
Okay. I will be sure to get those for you.
Thank you.
Our the bands are still glowing, right? We can't cast magic in here.
Yeah, you still have the bands on.
Figured.
I miss Micah.
Yes.
Uh,
Can we be in here to write the letter so I can help people if they need it?
Yeah, if you want to write it real quick while he's here. That.
Okay. So we're doing. Hold on. Now we have a lot. Okay. So
Ernest
we have.
/ Vari.
You
So
just can't
those
get
were
the.
2?
You can't get the 2 other ones until after this meeting's over.
So we're short 2, but we
Mhm.
can start
Yeah. Okay.
You have
Oh,
4
well,
only right now, and then he will get 2 more later once this meeting's over.
Unless we're using it for a round trip. That's only
Okay.
3.
Yeah. Then one with then.
Mhm.
Yes. So we have Ernest Vari, the grit guy. Who else? Heidi.
yeah, Heidi.
Heidi
and
/ Calvin.
Yeah, potentially Calvin.
I think those 3 are the perfect ones to start with, honestly.
Because we'll need to send a return token. Yeah, a return feather with the gray one.
And then did we want to do the not the executioners? You know how I'm saying the
Exterminators.
exterminators.
Well, round 2 could be
Oh,
Euphemia's
Exterminators
character witness and
and
exterminators.
Yeah.
But we can decide on that one. Sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then potentially a third would be if we feel like we're going to go much into blaming anyone on the orb, potentially Igden.
Yes. I'll just mention to Justin too. I know he's like trying to leave, but like, the other thing I would say is I don't know if this makes a difference, but there's a person that we're involved with, that the one we don't really want to rat out. He sent an agent into Shadowrock, and she's missing. But his group is secretive, so
Probably don't want to bring that up.
just ignore that. I didn't know if maybe it could be Spanish, but you're right. All right, then maybe just no.
It's going to
All
open
right.
up a lot more can of worms. Yeah.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I will do Ernest / Vari.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, even naming is out of character, but even naming Brahm, like you have to then open up the can of worms to verify who Brahm is then at that point,
Mhm.
and how we know that information.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna have to talk about that out of character, probably. That's gonna be a thing we're gonna
I think that one and exterminators could be, what we talk about.
Yeah. But for now though,
Good start.
Right.
I'll write a letter to. I'll start with Aslam.
Yes.
Is that his name with an
Yes.
M?
Yep.
Why'd you laugh?
The funny name, and you guys always said Aslan, and I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I always think it every time.
You named
So-
him.
I know,
It
but
messes with me
now
because
the joke about the names is like, you regret making someone's name something, and it's like, well, I gotta live with it now.
it's so close to Fates Apart's names too, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's messing with me.
So funny. That letter is really, like I won't say everything, but basically, Eleanor's like very like serious and solemn when she writes it because she basically has to inform him that Zydron is dead. And you know, she conveys as much like admiration and gratitude and speaks of his bravery and you know just like a lot of stuff like that, just speaking of him in like the highest regard she possibly can, because she
Sacrifice
means
wasn't in
it.
vain.
And like so then I'll basically say like how he died protecting me, and that it is like, you know, that I'm regret it, you know, or whatever. But he helped with what he set out to do, and he also found out with me that the corruption of the grade robbers has spread up to the north. And then I'll kind of spell out like he realized that Vubaris and, you know, and Alexander's situation seems really similar, that the grave robbers were in Heaven's Reach trying to kill me. Like I kind of list everything Zydron and I found out together, and then just kind of like say that like he was convinced when we went in that this was like had exactly everything to do with what's going on and what you were all fighting for. And so then I'll say I have an opportunity now. I'm in trouble, basically, like the people who are still in this are trying to get me out of the picture. But if you can back up my claims in like a written thing, then I can see if I can honor Zydron's name and his sacrifice by bringing them to justice, is essentially what I say in that one.
Okay. And I was asked that you guys send me any letters you do write too. I have them.
Oh, you do want me to? Okay.
Yeah, if you have
that
written
sounds
down
good.
one, I just have it.
Okay.
That's perfect.
That sounds
Okay.
good. I can do that later. And then, did you want to write the Heidi one?
Yeah, I would write it with you. I feel like
Mhm.
her tone would be pretty straightforward as per usual, but basically it's you know, we're in a position right now. We did tell her that someone was out to get us, right?
Yeah, definitely. She
Yeah.
knows about everything. Yeah.
Right. So basically I would start with like, we're in a position right now where we're under investigation for Watchlight. Maybe you've heard the charges. And we need to be able to help them understand the mishap affliction that we're dealing with as part of the issue that they're bringing forward. So if there's something she can do to share her experience that we've shared about the mishap problem, and also that Calvin was there at the start of everything. So if it's something that she thinks he might be able to speak on, we would appreciate like his statement as well. Right?
Like that it happened,
Eleanor?
you know, that
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
you know.
Basically, we're
He
just
doesn't-
looking for statements. Yeah,
Yeah.
like written statements would be fine.
I think too, actually,
About-
as we're writing, Eleonora realizes something,
Mhm.
and that is that my book that I used to communicate,
Mhm.
Heidi and Timeline 2 signed it,
Mhm.
and then it reached Heidi and Timeline 1. I just am
Mhm.
not sure. I guess I'll ask Justin if he thinks that would count as evidence, because it's like a power I have, and like I don't know if anyone else can like replicate that. So maybe that's not actually proof, but
I mean, it does kind of become one of those, how do you prove something? And you're probably not going to get access to your book.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So,
Heidi could send a statement that we contacted her and she didn't know how.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Something. Yeah. So yeah, whatever she feels like would be helpful for us to guess, and like our intentions, and you know, clearly we didn't want this and stuff like that.
I'm reminding myself of those interactions where you call her, just like, stop.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are.
That one was in timeline too, because you didn't
That
know
was
me
Heidi
at all,
too.
and I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
So funny.
Who are you? Yeah. And then, Winnie, were you gonna write Ernest and I can write Vari, like a two-parter?
Yeah, we can do that. You said I can just send you the letter, Mark, that I come up with?
You can send me a letter this
Okay.
week.
Okay, I'll do that.
Cool.
Right.
Oh, look pretty.
Yeah, Ernest, Aslam, and Heidi are your three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ernest / Vari. Yeah.
Okay. It's going to Ernest though, like that's.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to Ernest.
And you're sending the extra token with the one for Aslam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Return postage.
So he can send it back.
Yeah, all three of those letters go out, and your meeting is cut to the end with good old Justin, and you'll go back to your cells. After that, it says we'll be in touch later in the day. He would come into and give you 2 more feather tokens. So you can mark off. It would end up being 31 gold from the party total, Rachel. You're keeping track of.
Okay. Sure.
19 came out of the special pot, and
Yes.
Did you ever add the 15 from when you were captured that we picked up?
No, I didn't. I can
So
now.
You can add that in.
Okay.
Because it would have all been confiscated.
Okay.
Taken off the line.
Cool. That sounds good.
How much do we have?
I gotta put it all in now because I was writing it because I wasn't sure like how that worked anymore. Hold on, please.
We have mere hours of funds at our back.
Okay, we have 322.
Okay. Not a lot, but it's doable.
and I already mark off 20 for Justin's fee for the day too.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
You don't need to do that yet. We'll get that at the end. But
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
yeah. So you guys spend the day in jail. This is the big build-up day as you await your trial, possibly starting tomorrow. We'll see where things go. We'll end our session there as our party prepares their defense and tries to gather allies to speak to the validity of their statements. We'll see who is willing to help, who would be willing to make it worse, and I will roll over that bonus you got from the start of the session for dancing. You get that bonus one. I'll roll
Oh,
over
yeah.
to the next
Thank
one
you.
because
I don't know about that.
none of you guys
Yeah, we
used
didn't really
anything
use-
today. Like none of you use anything. You all are full on bonus blesses. You all have your
randomly rolled
advantage.
so high.
Oh, that's true.
So no one used
oh,
anything.
Man, we were...
So I'll just roll
I forgot
that
about the
bonus one.
blessing.
I'm not rolling over your ones from this time. People have to pay for those next time. But the bonus
yeah,
one. we'll
it's
roll
so
over.
funny because I'm pretty sure you were like, yeah, we might get through the whole trial today. And
You
I was
never
like-
know.
Some of us are saving
Depending
Yeah,
on what you
it.
it's
guys
true,
chose,
yeah.
it could have gone different directions. You
Yeah,
literally
very
were
true.
offered,
Pretty
hey,
much
do you want to be out of here today?
Yeah.
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 Bust out of
That's
jail.
fair.
yeah,
Yep.
actually, that's a great point. Yeah, we could have just been like, yes, we do.
So
Come
Get out.
us.
Yeah.
Doodle-
Yeah.
you
Bye.
never know. You never know with you guys.
Here is death to save the day.
Exactly. So we're gonna end our recording and then we'll raid somebody. So stick around for that. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks for watching. We appreciate that and we hope to catch you next time. Bye everybody.